single kill for Buriram in game 1, but that's just how they snowball the game into total control in this game 1.
And they understand the win conditions of each particular draft, right? Down here, first target to fall after Tofu was Julius. Julius was meant to be the recovery effect. Butterfly gets the assist, come back into the fight and get those finishing blows, but it was never the case.
Like, even in a situation you're a 4v5, just look at the goalie here. 4,000 in the favor of Buriram United Esports here. Licky barely touched by any single member coming in from Team Flash. And as of this point, Julius is like, guys, I gotta head back to the fountain, get some health back. But then while the time is on his way back, it's already too little too late.
It's so difficult to play this game because not only in game 1, game number 2, they had all the answers as well. Valdez, the moment he drops his ultimate, sure, that's fine. Maybe you want to try and get the team fight as well, but then look at the cover by Little Boys on the Dharma. He was all over the place getting those truth mantras in, and the truth really did hurt on this one.
We know that this is a team sport, that we understand how everything is going to be about, like all the teammates pushing in. But it's important just to understand that some of them just shine a little bit brighter than the rest. When you think about Buriram United Esports, who do you think was like the biggest star in this 5-man formation?
Nunu.
You should have waited, we should have counted and then we're going for Nunu because I had Nunu as well. Okay, you know, we'll work on our teamwork, but it's okay. This is the Buriram gameplay, right? You go first and I'll back you up.
I think I agree with you guys in terms of Nunu. Nunu in both games was ideal for any team, just being able just to deal the damage, to just be able to just protect as well. Well, what about if we go on stage and we try to see and hear a little bit more from the players? Mara, take it from here. Let's see exactly what's going on there.
From the winning team, Buriram United, we're here with Nunu, the mid laner. Congratulations! And how was that you received the very first match win here at EWC? How is that for your confidence? How is the team's mindset right now?
ก่อนอื่นเลยนะฮะก็ขอแสดงความยินดีด้วยนะฮะรู้สึกยังไงบ้างครับที่ตอนนี้เนี่ยเราคว้าชัยชนะแรกของทัวร์นาเมนต์ EWC มาแล้วฮะ
ดีใจครับเพิ่งมาเล่นด้วยครับก็แมตช์แรกก็สนุกครับ
Yep, I'm very happy and excited that we already achieved the first victory and like we are very happy to be here too in Paris.
And one thing we were really happy about, you used the new AOV collab hero Lorian in the mid lane. They're the very first team to use that in EWC. Now, Lorian has a really long stun. And when you get your opponent, well, it's a guaranteed success for you, especially when you were getting the farm laner in game 1. How much fun was using Lorian, our new AOV hero collab, for your first match?
มาพูดถึงในตอนเกมแรกบ้างนะฮะเราหยิบลอเรียนมานะฮะซึ่งเป็นฮีโร่ที่เป็นคอลลาบอเรชันกับทาง AOV นะฮะเนื่องจากว่าตัวนี้เนี่ยมีสตันที่ค่อนข้างเป็นเวลานานเลยทีเดียวเมื่อเราเนี่ยว่าแลนสตันได้แล้วเนี่ยค่อนข้างจะเป็นการการันตีได้เลยทีเดียวมีความคิดเห็นยังไงบ้างครับ
ก็รู้สึกว่ามันแตกต่างกับเกม AOV ที่ผมเล่นครับเพราะว่าโลออนเกมนี้ก็จะเหมือนกึ่งโป๊กนิดนึงครับเพราะว่าสกิลเขาค่อนข้างแรงครับ
Yeah, so Lorian in this game is kind of a bit of different from the AOV that he has been played because it's like in this game it's kind of semi-poke.
But you know, we really enjoyed watching you. How about some tips for everybody watching looking to use this new hero Lorian in the ranked games? What would you like to suggest for them? Any tips for the rank?
ก็ขอ1ทิปให้กับแฟนๆที่ดูจากทั่วโลกหน่อยฮะว่าเวลาเล่นลอเรียนเนี่ยมีทิปอะไรบ้างครับ
ก็ถ้าเป็นของเกมนี้ก็พยายามโป๊ก่อนครับแล้วก็พอศัตรูเขาเข้ามาพลาดเราก็อันตีสวนไปครับ
So for this game just try to poke the enemy like as much as you can and like so when you saw that all right the HP of the enemy is like low enough just all in your ultimate skill.
Great, for sure. More people are going to use that, and we're so proud with your first win. How about send a message to everybody watching from Thailand? What would you like to say to all your supporters?
มีข้อความอะไรอยากจะฝากถึงแฟนๆชาวไทยบ้างครับ
ก็ฝากเชียร์พวกผมด้วยครับพวกผมจะทำให้เต็มที่ครับผม
Yeah, so thank you so much everyone for keep supporting us and like hope you guys will keep like supporting us till the end.
Job well done once again. Congratulations, Nunu. Congratulations to Buriram United. And now we're going to head over to the casters. Lead the gorge.
Thank you very much, Mara. Thank you very much, Nunu. You can hear it over there in the background. The people are enjoying this a lot. As a person who has been working on HOK already for so many years, I'm going to tell you, lads, I am extremely happy of seeing this match 1 going the way that it went. Because this is the main idea about this KWC 2026, expanding our family, making the ecosystem richer, and make everyone just to understand from different angles, with different heroes, with different players, how our game can become richer and richer and richer.
And richer also comes in the form of pick and bans, right? Where you have AOV heroes coming in. We've seen in that game just now, Florentino, permaban.
Yes.
Not allowing anyone to play it. That is a very, very strong hero. And then you have the things like Lorian, which has had an amazing performance coming in from Nunu. And we have yet to see Anna yet, but I was pretty surprised when Julius picked up the butterfly in that game 1. He had some pretty good moments here, but at the end of the day, it's a team game. And I think this time around in this upper bracket semifinals, I feel that specifically for the side of Buriram, they did better.
They definitely did. And of course, the tips from Nunu, right? This is very important, right? If there's low health, just get it poked. But of course, let's poke the bear a little bit. Let's go to Isaac.
You know what? I am extremely excited for this game. I am really looking forward for match number 2. Before we do that, what about if we go for a little break, and then after that, match number 2 is going to be upon us.
Play is in our DNA. Whenever we let it out, it becomes our superpower. Now imagine an entire city being built to supercharge it. Kadir City, powered by Play.
We were there. For every click, every clutch, every respawn. We were there for the years of grind. And we're here. Now. The proud founding partner of EWC. Powering the biggest event in gaming. Shoulder to shoulder with the world's best. Making history. Greatness deserves a stage. Lenovo Legion. Reach your impossible.
Esports World Cup.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the KWC 2026. We're live from Paris, France, and we're enjoying it and really liking the energy and everything that is going on right now. We just watched match number 1 and it ended up with Buriram United Esports making it forward into the upper bracket. Now, we're going to jump into our match number 2. For our match number 2, we're going to have two teams that we all have known from before. Influence Rage against S8UL Esports. These are going to be the two teams that are right now just getting ready on stage for us to bring in here the main ideas and the main action of the game.
For these two teams, right, I feel for S8UL Esports, they are a very new region as a whole, right? Where they just joined the region not new long ago and then coming in for their first tournament. It's already KWC here in Paris, France. So, Blam, if you were to look at S8UL, how would you rate them?
I mean, if there's anyone to give them a warm welcome, it's definitely Influence Rage, right? Obviously, we have had the Chalk BR teams here since 2024, but S8UL Esports, I definitely feel like they have something to prove, just like we just saw in the last games from Buriram United as well as Team Flash. This is now their time to shine, try and get themselves into the upper bracket.
I'm telling you, I think that these two teams are playing for completely different things. And that is one of the beautiful about this. The people that you can see over there on your screen, S8UL Esports, S8UL Esports, they're fighting just to write the first page of Indian Honor of Kings storyline onto the KWC with really golden letters.
Now, I don't mean to be someone who would like to discourage teams, but I feel that the direction coming in from the Indian region, the Kings Arise champ, the runner-up here, which is S8UL, it's to learn as much as you can, adapt in towards it, and see how far you can realistically go. Because your opponents here, Influence Rage, it comes from Chalk BR.
Influence Rage is one of those teams that they're really looking forward just to show us that the South American HOK scene are real contenders in the international stage. We've had them for a long time. These people with experience, but up until right now, not yet a big tournament winner.
Not big tournament winner, but if you look at them as a region as a whole, they've always been top 8.
Yes!
Like, that's a beautiful thing. If you've been to so many KWCs and you've reached top 8, that's very impressive for your region.
But we need to just kind of like just make that step forward, right? Like top 8 was a great first start, but it's been already so many years. We want to see one of the Chalk BR teams really make it to top 4, to make it to the finals. Wouldn't that be actually really interesting to watch?
Exactly, right? I mean that Chalk BR, like you mentioned, right? In terms of HOK's history, all the way from KIS1 into KIS2 into currently the world stage, they have been, I would say, on a slow run down where they look good at the start, but as the global infrastructure starts improving, they need to find more ways to prove themselves. Like, they have what it takes to actually contend for the top spots here. Like Alpha 7 Gaming from last year, they actually made top 8, and who was in that roster? You have Fury, you have players like Danny who led that roster here. So coming in towards this play-ins here is their stepping stone for a greater success.
Let's spotlight that a little bit, right? Because we just mentioned Danny. When you think about Chalk BR, you're always thinking about the same man. And this is gonna be a real good moment for Danny just to prove that, right? Like, it's gonna be a completely new team, a new roster. Can he really just play to the level that he needs to play in this KWC 2026?
I really think so, because I mean, last year we kind of like doubted him as just a solo tank jungler, but then this time around, obviously last year, he proved to us, he's like, right, we can be the assassins, we can play the game.
Well, we will have to wait and see exactly what we're going to do. Let's wait and see exactly what is going to happen. We are going to have Influence Rage against S8UL Esports. These are going to be the players. This is going to be the teams. Hin, Holler, what do you guys have in mind?
Right? I think that for this one, it really sets the tone of the rest of how the Group A is going to be. We saw the first two teams already, especially in terms of this AOV squads, but now a lot of pressure on both of these ones, especially for, I mean, is it S8UL Esports? Like, who has more pressure on them?
I would definitely think it's the reverse. It has to be Influence Rage, right? Because we have players like Danny,
Yeah.
or Donnie as
Yeah.
we like to call him, he has experience in AOV as well. He should know what's coming under the covers of that punch.
Yes, definitely so. And I think that for him, in terms of experience on the international stage, he probably has the most throughout the entire, both of the squads here, right? So I think that for looking into this one, Danny is probably the guy.
And also, the history of this, when the Brazil teams came in, they got first place in their competitions. This is S8UL's first ever international competition. Can they repeat the results as well? We're going to see, because the first pick is going to be the Zhangfei, one of the biggest tanks in the game. This is going to be really important because they have a lot of health bars as well as a lot of damage on the side of S8UL.
Good, a great, couple of picks to kind of set things up. S8UL, especially with this Flowball Marksman, you're really setting things up for Keltizi to really get going. He wants that type that needs that range, and Flowball Marksman hits all of those parts.
Ooh, this one hurts me in the gut. I mean, the Lorian, we've already seen this in the first series of the day, and that's a lot of damage, a lot of CC, more importantly, because 2 seconds is a long time in the honor of King's Wall. But add that in, we have the Guan Yu coming in for the side lane with the Zhangfei. So what? This is like 4 seconds of CC?
Yes, a lot of control. And with that Lorian, which you rightly pointed out, a lot of it is going to revolve around that. We were expecting going in, there was going to be a moment where Lorian would be insta-banned almost every single game. Obviously, very early. Second series of the day, and we've already seen it in the first one where it was completely dominant in that first game.
Yes, and of course, the biggest surprise to me is that they did not pick up the Florentino. So Florentino is open for the taking, but it will not show, right? Unless someone wants to play in the jungle, which shouldn't be the case. But with that being said, the Lapu Lapu comes in as the final pick before the second half bans come in. Now, there's a lot of tankiness, a lot of physical and magical defense coming in from the Lapu's passive. This is going to help out S8UL's draft so far. They have a Byron Mega Shields, and the Flowborn Marksman is going to be a very important pick here. He is a shredder on this team.
Definitely so. And there's a lot of tinky guys, so it's definitely going to be something that they're looking to do. Let KLTZ get going, right? On the same side, if we're looking at both of them, you rightly pointed out, very tanky, a lot of those big stuns to set things up in the first phase of the draft here, but now I think they need to really shore up, get more damage on the board, if you will.
Yeah, they definitely need to. My biggest question now is, okay, look, farm lane is still available for the picks on the side of Influence Rage, but a lot of the useful ones, like the Arlie Direnjia as well as the Aoyan, the Lung, have been taken out. Lupan is great, but Lupan is very immobile.
Yes, definitely. That's a huge problem, right? Right now, it's about mobility, being able to kind of, when those team fights are about to happen, especially with the Guan Yu lurking around in the wings, Lapu Lapu is going to be looking to set things up himself with the Byron as backup. You got to kind of make sure you have the right angles.
It's so difficult. You know what hero comes to mind? I like the Garo. She does a great job at shredding the shields, plus 50% damage on shielded targets. That could be the answer here, but once again, mobility is an issue. They need help. Hopefully the Guan Yu, the Zhangfei, and the Lorian will be able to assist and provide the space needed.
Yes, and now with this Lady Jeanne here to kind of set things up for the mid-game. Again, a lot of the stuns. This is even more pressure on KLTZ to perform. He goes down, they're going to lack a lot of damage.
For sure, and you know what? I'm hoping for the skin coming in on this Lady Jeanne pick, but we'll take a look at what the final portions of this BP will be. Influence Rays, they're going to set the stage. They need the jungler, they need the farm laner, and they need to be able to shred. They have the CC, they have the control, they have the movement as well. They need the final answer here.
My problem is I'm not a huge fan of this 4 Protect 1 lineup, right? I think that, oh, okay, well, there you go. They're going to get to the back line. This is one way to do it. But I do think if we're talking about, overall team fights, they have a lot of control to deal with this Jing that's going to potentially jump to that back line.
Okay, you know what? Mirror's broken. That's not going to be a good sign here for the side of Influence Rage. But if there's any team to pull this off, Dani in the jungle on a Jing. I don't remember seeing him play this hero too many times, but we also have Leffy on the channel. Can the Brazil squad bring themselves to the next stage of KWC play-ins?
I love how Influence Rage drafted this, right? They were like, okay, who is our star player? Danny, right? Let's set things up so that we ensure that we get a hero that he's going to love to play. It's going to be all or nothing in terms of just how this hero is able to kind of, get his farm and to do that damage. It's all in right now on the Danny train.
Okay, and we also, we had a very short moment with both coaches just now. And on the side of S8UL, they predicted a 2-0 scoreline for the series.
Okay.
So I want to see if that comes true. On the other hand, for Kaiba, he's coming in. There is a big expectation. They need to dominate at this play-ins for the KWC 2026.
Yeah, and I think is Influence Rage, you want to be like, okay, hello, welcome to the international stage. We will smack you down. I think that would be best case scenario for them. SAUL, obviously, they want to perform. If they're able to take the first 5-10 minutes and get an edge, that would be a huge win in terms of confidence, morale, and really sticking it to Influence Rage.
That's the dream, right? But
Yes.
this is the international stage, and this is their first time on the international stage.
Right.
For Influence Rage, is the complete opposite. They have been here multiple times. They have experienced the tension, the energy as well of the crowd. I want to see how this affects both teams.
Yes, I think that's going to be the biggest piece. As we go to the second series of the day, we're going to go to game number 1 to see exactly Influence Rage, SAUL Esports, how they do this one. Because again, if we're talking about draft though, who are you giving the edge to?
I actually like the side of Influence Rage a little bit more, but simply because there is a potential for flashy and very confusing intense moments that will be brought over to the side of S8UL. So if they don't know how to deal with this, S8UL might fall in this first game.
Yes. All about space, space, space. I can't speak more of it because Keltizi is the guy. He's 100%. Are they able to kind of get on point? He needs to stay alive, ensure that he gets as much time with the solo experience as he's getting in this bottom lane. This is what they want to do in terms of just kind of setting him up for success.
Easier said than done, because at this point, China, with the Soul of the Wolves as well, it kind of dilutes the value of a flowborn marksman pick, because yes, you can pierce your targets, but if they're all at different angles, you can't get the amount of wave clear speed that you want.
Yes, and now it looks like at the same time, Influence Rage, this, if they're able to kind of limit what KLTZ is going, that's going to open things up for Danny, right? And if we're trying to talk about space, about who can really carry, Danny's the guy.
It has to be. And Ditching is a big pick here. They need this lady in the mirror domain and dimension to be able to shine. And this is going to be the first big objective you're talking about, right? The goal lead. Can they get the EXP and the goal lead over to the side of Danny? Because if they can't, then S8UL, Kong is going to show him a world of hurt.
Yeah, Kong is definitely the guy that needs to step up, right? Make sure, I would like it if SAUL were to be aggressive and to take away some of those Azure Golems, because you take away that blue buff, Danny's not going to be able to farm as much as he would like.
Yeah, and you know what? Farming is definitely going to be important. They're going to open it up. I don't think it's too much. Actually, Kong doesn't really care. He goes back in.
Yeah, not scared. He's actually fighting 1 versus 3 because he knows that reinforcements are on the way. Mena taking most of the damage. He has the Leaping Savior just to stay alive. But SAUL, again, this is what you want to do. You want to pick, poke, prod, whatever you can do, and put pressure on Influence Rage.
I like this confidence, right? You have to have it at this point.
Oh, nice little stun, though. They flash away Extreme, just staying alive. Doofy had his back, though.
Okay, so 2 minutes cooldown, 120 seconds for the flash. Yeah. That's a good skill to take out, common spell to take out from the side of SAUL. Right. But it's on the extreme. The ladies, and she can play from far, so it doesn't really matter that much at this point.
Definitely doesn't really matter. I mean, Extreme is the type where he's kind of like the secondary support, right? He doesn't have to get those items. Maybe you get the Venomous Staff, but nice little control. They find Fury, the Leaping Savior, the shields are on point. Fury looking to limp away, but now here comes the Razor Cavalry on the back. Tempest with a nice play, but Kong is going to go down. They find Extreme as well, and SAUL have to just limp away with 2 members down.
We are afraid of the Tempest Dragon. No, you need to be afraid of the Tempest Guan Yu. This is the one that hurts one more.
Yeah, KLTZ flashing away, just trying to just pick and prod with Leffy on this one, who again created a lot of that space. Now this bottom T1 is under siege.
And this one hurts, because right now this means he's missing out on the minion EXP and gold. This is not looking good for KLTZ as well. Now we take a look at the gold lead, right? Close to 3,000.
Oh, nice little stun. Oh, Doofy finds Leffy. He tried to soaring signal back to safety, but he got caught out. The charge is just too much from Doofy.
Not the kind of peekaboo that Leffy wants to. And you know, the fact he came from the left, that was great.
Leffy, as he goes into this one. Now, I mean, that's going to be a huge win for that. congrats. But now, if we're talking about how they want to play this one out, Doofy, nice little control, finding two members in the brush. But again, it was more of just impeding the ambush attempt.
Yes, it is. And right now, this laning phase is, I think, even Stevens for now, but the goalie's definitely in the side of Influence Rage. And 4 minutes, Doofy hiding alone here.
Oh, he's all by himself, but there's 3 members that tried to go on. Good. This is great in terms of that spacing, right? Doofy took a lot of that damage, and now it's going to set up for this Tyrant. Oh, now they find him. Doofy getting a little bit too low, the Raging Sea, but he's going to be picked off. Kong is too low himself, and they find 3 members. Influence Rage are starting to create that space.
Exactly what you want. The important members, they're all gone. The tank, Doofy is gone. Kilteezy, your farmlane is gone. Your jungle, Kong is gone as well. And S8UL, they need to find a recovery point because Danny has already secured the first timer of the game. 30 seconds in, not what you want to see.
It kind of started with Doofy, right? He was kind of initially fighting, got a little bit too low, and when the actual team fight was happening, he was kind of just taken down. You need his CCs, you need him to kind of cycle through his skills. Was not able to do it because it's just a little too low at the beginning of that fight.
I mean, he was just doing his job, right? He wanted to get the vision for the team, but now that simple change has made life a lot more difficult. Influence Rage, they're looking for the target in the mid lane. If the T1 falls here, it's going to be a difficult one to fight back. 5k goal difference is not something you can come back from easily.
I mean, it's 1k starting to grow with every minute that's happening, right? I mean, we're only 5 minutes into this one. Kong just trying to keep his Crimson Golem alive, or, the buff away for himself. He does take that, but S8UL right now, they are absolutely reeling. They need to calm down, find ways to get back into this.
Okay, I mean, it felt like you were telling me to calm down because it was looking kind of scary for Kong at this point. 0-2-0, no assists, no kills, 2 deaths. This is not where you want to be at this point.
Do not. And look at how Influence Rage completely zoning them away. They've kind of just, springboarded past that T1 mid to push them further back. S8UL right now, they're starting to group up together, and that is a losing proposition.
Yes, when it rains, a pause for this one because now the jungle is getting taken away. You don't get the EXP from the lanes anymore. You don't get the EXP. Here we go.
They dive on this one. They find Kong, who has to roll on back, but the Razor Cavalry, the pushback is unreal by Tempest. Miriam is solo himself. He's starting to limp away, but Influence Rage have already taken a huge opening with 2 members down. They're going to take the bottom T3 as well.
Okay, what's the call here? Do we go in for more? Because there is no more Extreme, there's no more Kong. They have the 2 tanks left. Kilteezy actually right now is a very, very crucial positioning. If they can take Kilteezy down, there is no defense.
There's absolutely no defense. I mean, he's the guy that needs to just do the wave clearing. He needs to get that farm. But again, if we're talking about space and XP, he's just overall, he's fallen really behind. Leffy has a 2-level advantage over him.
He also has a 2,000 gold advantage. It's 2 for 2 at this point. And you know what? 7-1 in terms of the kill score. It's looking all Brazil at this point.
It is, definitely so. I mean, they're taking everything. I mean, they can't even get to their own Crimson Golem because of the fact that they've been zoned away. Influence Rage playing this one phenomenally here as they've completely zoned them away.
And they play this really safely, right? Both Crimson buffs, one on Fury, one on Leffy. The big pokes, they don't even need Danny to jump in. He doesn't have to take the risk.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I mean, when you have Fury, you have Tempest, all of these guys that can be those frontliners, and Danny can just, secondary initiate, which is what you want to do because he's very vulnerable. He's able to find that damage, and he's able to burst them down when they need to.
Yeah, Fury definitely was watching the interview, right? Yes. We meant the advice for new players, but Fury was like, okay, that sounds good to me too.
Yeah, I mean, they saw the first series. This Lorien has just been unreal in terms of how much impact it has. Those orbs are starting to do some serious damage. He pushes away, zoned them out. The top T3, look at just like that. They're looking to take this down.
Yep, the fight hasn't even started, and they're low, right? The 2 pokes, Leffy getting those soaring signals in, Fury with the pokes as well. This is a hard defense for S8UL, and it's not going to end anytime soon.
Yeah, I don't know if it's hard or impossible at this stage, right? Oh, they go in, they find him and kill Teasy just like that. You blink and you're going to be killed, and they find them. They push him back as well. They find Kong, but the crystal is open. They're going to take it, 1 down. Influence Rage up, game number 1.
Big moments for the side of Influence Rage, and it was a rager. This is where Kaiba, the coach, wanted to have happen. He has been waiting for this moment on the international stage for a long time.
And now it looks like, I mean, they're going to be so happy with that, how that one played out. S8UL, on the other hand, kind of, this is a bit of a wake-up call. It's not the end of the world. It's just 1 game, but they need to find ways to bounce back in this one.
I mean, okay, it's just 1 game, right? it doesn't matter if you lose at this stage that much, you still have a second life. But ideally, you want to be able to make it last faster.
And INF is going to take that first victory. It was an 8-minute match. They came in and then just in a very supreme and very superior fashion, they came in and they took in the victory. Lads, break it down for everyone, please.
It's just a very big difference in terms of experience, right? Where we see, yes, individual prowess coming in from players like Danny on that Jing, finding multiple angles, and also the Guan Yu. That was a magnificent performance in ending that game in that crystal area here. But in terms of the individual performance here coming in from S8UL, you can clearly see that they are really lacking behind in that team understanding in terms of macro and micro.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there was definitely... We do have experience on the side of S8UL Esports, right? Obviously, we do have Kong there. He's probably going to be the driving force, giving and ushering all this experience over to the team. But when they have Influence Rage, Chuck VR, that's been going since, what, 2022. There is a wealth of more experience there for Influence Rage.
And you could see just in the main difference when we were talking about Danny, right? Like, Danny in here, he comes in with the Jing pick. He's the person that opens the game over here for Influence Rage, right? Like, they come in the 4th minute, the Jing, just the initiation over there in the blue zone. It is what makes everything just turn around. What about if we just go for a quick break? When we come back, it's gonna be game number 2 of this match number 2.
Play is in our DNA. Whenever we let it out, it becomes our superpower. Now imagine an entire city being built to supercharge it. Kadir City, powered by play.
We were there for every click, every clutch, every respawn. We were there for the years of grind, and we're here. Now, the proud founding partner of EWC, powering the biggest event in gaming, shoulder to shoulder with the world's best, making history. Greatness deserves a stage. Lenovo Legion, reach your impossible.
Welcome back. This is the KWC 2026. Let's go back to Influence Rage against Seoul Esports. In that game number 1, I do believe that the key for Influence Rage to be able to take the victory was their awareness of the map and the way that they were zoning out their opponents in all of the different lanes, right?
I feel like it's a very good point, right? Where you have the Unbridled Outburst coming in from Maina and also Tempest coming in from the back with that Guan Yu's ultimate here, which actually limited a lot of space coming in from the side of S8UL to find those early game markers here. Yes, you want to play the double marksman composition like what Buriram did, but in the end, if you can't get the early game going, laning phase jungle, you're just going to get sandwiched by that double lane game.
Absolutely. I mean, if you want to play with that double marksman conversation, you then going to try and like create that space for yourself, right?
तो गाइस अब मुझे जरा देख के बताएं कि कितना कम आ रहा है, कितना ज्यादा आ रहा है, क्या आ रहा है, क्या नहीं आ रहा है। Because मुझे लगता नहीं है कि थोड़ा सा कुछ हुआ होगा। आवाज बहुत ठीक होगी। डेस्कटॉप की इसमें क्या हो रहा था? विंडो कैप्चर जो होती है ना, उसकी बहुत ज्यादा हो रही थी आवाज, इस वजह से हमारी आवाज आ ही नहीं रही, बंद हो गई बिल्कुल हैं। पीछे वाली आवाज डबल कर दूं ना, आया तो बता दो।
Find a footing for those proper team fights.
There we go. Obviously, they need to find the proper team fights. I feel like Seoul Esports, this definitely need to kind of just go back to what they know. Trust Kong maybe going to lean into that a little bit more of the in terms of the experience that he has for the team, but it's all there for them to show now. This is their showcase. Do they go to the lower bracket or do they fight for the upper bracket? Casters, they need to tell the story.
They're gonna have to just tell us the story of what is going on in here. Take it from here, lads.
Yeah, thank you so much as we go into game number 2 to find the draft. For me, it seemed like it was too much of an all-in play on the kill team.
तो गाइस अब मेरी आवाज देखिए, बस आपकी आवाज आ रही है नहीं आ रही है। जो मैच साफ सोल का दूसरा मैच शुरू होगा, कोशिश करते हैं कि सोल इस मैच में हम पूरा सपोर्ट करें कि सोल जीत जाए।
Who gets the resources?
पहले ही
How do we
मैच में
distribute
बहुत
the
ही
resources
ज्यादा
for this? And at this point, I think, you know what, at least in game 1, Kong, I
केस रहा इनका।
felt, did
अब
a
थोड़ा हम
decent job
सुधर
of
चुके
trying
हैं,
to
थोड़ा संभल
resolve
चुके
the
हैं।
situation, but
अब
time
हमारी
was
सब चीज
not
इसमें
on
हो
their
चुकी है।
side.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have much time when the spacing is going to be completely taken away,
No
right? There was that initial fight where 3 members got killed right before the Tyrants. That was a bit of a disaster in terms of a start. You need to kind of come out 50-50. Maybe you contest, take that away. They were not able to do so.
I mean, this is one of the things, right? They were pretty tanky, but they only had 2 points of damage realistically, right? One from the Gudo, the other from the Flowborn Marksman. So at this point, once again, we're going to re-explore the BPs. Tiempo is going to be a big pick. Zhangfei is going to be a big pick. These are the big tanks, right? No more Lapu Lapu for them on the side of S8UL. I'm wondering if they want to go for utility roams instead.
I think it makes sense, right? But I think that for me, maybe you let Kong not just play like the tanky style junglers, but let him fly too. Let him play like the Jing, Luna, those styles, right? They are aggressive. Let them play, again, use his advantage to create space. Now KLTZ will have a much easier game.
Okay, I like the idea of that, but it's kind of a difficult position to be in because right now they're just going to start up with the Chicha. Chicha, as you all know, flex pick can be played in the farm, can be played in the clash, can be played in the jungle. So I like this movement from S8UL.
Yeah, it's a great pick. I mean, I like the fact that you're talking about how flexible it is. It's a lot of mind games because if you're looking at the other side, it's like, oh, where is it going to be? How do we ban other heroes, understanding that it could be literally any of those lanes?
That's right, and you know what? Let's not even consider the difficulties. Let's just go for tankiness first, right? And we have the potential of return fire on that ultimate, on the Dharma as well, the truth mantra. So I like this. Lapu Lapu as well as the Dharma picks coming in. This is going to be a very important pick because Tempest, I felt like he had a lot of impact in game number 1. Now with a Dharma, there is even more pain to offer.
Yeah, just setup after setup. And he finds the right angles, especially like he did in the last game with Guan Yu. But if we're looking at the other end, it looks like they're going to go with the tried and true. The Zhangfei, very traditional. But the Zhang Yu, your thoughts on this one in the clash?
I love this hero when it's on my team. Okay. Because with the Hegemon Slash, which is the ultimate, the lower your health, the higher the damage. And you also get a mini stun from that skill itself. So this is a positional objective on the side of S8UL, right? If this Xiangyu gets into the correct position, soaks in enough damage, returns it fully to the side of Influence Rage, it could change the plane of the fight.
My only concern is Xiangyu very slow, right? The Hegemon Slash takes like 3 business days to truly arrive. I mean, to actually hit that mark. But again, if you have other setup, especially with this Zhang Fei, you have ways to kind of mitigate and play around it.
I mean, okay, number one, yes, maybe for some people it feels like it takes 3 business days. And plus, you're trying to get it on an Erin who is like a feather in the wind.
Yes.
Right? Very mobile, able to change directions at any moment. And within a moment's notice, that's the biggest thing. Now, the big question here is, can this Erin farm? Do they give the space for Leffy to get the gold in his pocket?
Yeah, and actually Leffy, let's talk a little bit about him, because when he was picked up, it seemed like Influence Rage were able to kind of up themselves to the next level. They were able to kind of really just use his play and, you know, just solidify that farm lane to elevate this team to the next level. Leffy right now, from what I'm told, he's one of the hardest workers in the room. So there's a lot of good things that, again, you can kind of see in the play of Leffy here.
Okay, so hardest worker. I mean, if you're paid fairly, then probably he's going to get a lot of gold in his pocket for this game number 2. Now, they're going to pick up the Ukyo Tachibana for the side of Influence Rage. Going up... Wait, what is this? This is going to be a Ziya in the mid lane and a DNJ in the farm lane. The Chicha is going into the jungle.
Okay. We knew it was going to be flexible. And again, they might as well just flex it like that. But now you have the Zia, which again is one of those win more type of heroes. It doesn't do the greatest things at times, because when you're behind, it feels like a really just tough hero to play with here.
Actually, I would contest that. With the Sanctification, he gets extra EXP as well, right? And he can break the level limit, so you get to level 25 if the game really goes late. Put that on a Chicha, put that on a DNJ. It changes the whole situation of the team fight. Right now, you have to have many other considerations as well. Now, they're gonna finish up the draft on S8UL's side, or no, Influence Rage with the Nua. I like that. There's a lot of burst damage, a lot of mobility, very quick rotations from the mid lane as well. This could change a lot of things.
And actually, it's about that range. You have a huge the artillery bombardment from, you know, the next level, or the next map, if you will. I mean, he's able to just stay alive. He's able to kind of stay out of harm's reach, especially when they have the Zhang Yu as well as the Zhang Fei. Both of these guys that are looking to find that backline.
You know, I always think like that when I play a Nua, but somehow I find myself in the loving arms of the opponent team. So hopefully, this doesn't happen for the side of Influence Rage. But this is a difficult position to be in, because S8UL, they want to get into the thick of the action. They want to be in your face.
Yeah, and I think that they need to play that way. They need to be aggressive. They need to give themselves a chance, because again, I know that you like Extreme Zia as more of a late game assurance. I'm looking at his early game. If they falter here, he's literally just an old man. He's like a poor man's Gandalf, if you will.
Okay, well, the old man put some damage in here, and Danny, I like the idea, the question, but this is time wasted, right? If they don't manage to get the early rotations, this is going to cost them.
Yeah, and Danny here using that gold sharing. One thing that we saw even in game 1 was how Influence Rage were able to extract as much value across the map, especially early, because that was what was able to get that snowball going here.
Yeah, and more importantly, right, it's also they now have the information about which buff was started.
True.
So this is going to impact what are you going to be thinking about, right? In the next 90 seconds, how do we want to plan our rotations? Do we want to care about the mid lane, right? Right now, this is free EXP that they're losing if they don't get here on time.
Yes. But look at how all 3 members, just like that, right? Influence Rage, all of them are like, okay, let's use that gold sharing. That wave is about to crash into the tower. So they've kind of, again, extracted as much as possible, sticking to a 3-man posse here.
Okay, I like this, right? I'm just going to sidestep into the hyper roast. Revenant, Spark, as well as S8UL Esports will break the meta of HOK Global Esports. As it stands now, it's looking a little, you know, new.
Yeah, I mean... It's so hard to be like where these teams are, especially when you haven't played against some of the levels of these teams who have been...
This is a possibility you have to consider. Now, with that being said, S8UL. Ooh, Kill TZ. This one is looking a little bit uncomfortable. Leffy, you talked about being the hard fastest worker in the room. He is working really hard right now.
Yeah, KLTZ though, he's gonna get found out. Danny, he's looking for the first kill. He's gonna take first blood right there, and that was a wounded fish, if you will. He's gonna take that free food to go.
And this is a level 4 Mena. There is something to set up here. If they can steal this away before the 4-minute Tyrant, this could be huge for the side of Influence Rage.
Actually, the way that they're disengaging is that, okay, it's about value, right? Let's just go to the mid lane. We don't need to do a 50-50 smite, and a smite battle, if you will. Danny completely giving that up, but again, just trying to extract more farm on this map as they're up about 1.3.
Yeah, what I'm curious about is at this point, have they frozen the lane? No, they have not. So Leffy actually allows the recovery of gold and EXP for the side of KLTZ.
Yeah, maybe a bit of a misplay. I mean, again, I think that freezing it in that bottom lane would have been huge for them because KLTZ, that walk of shame all the way back, plus you're losing a lane, it would have been very difficult to find anything. So again, a little bit of a, misplay, if you will.
I think calculated risk at this point, right? So Doofy, that's the thing I want to really focus on. Doofy, game number 1, got caught out early before the fights.
Right.
But now we're going to have a new one.
Oh, here's the emergence. They actually have the numbers. The 3-man stun, the hedge of its slash will actually connect on, but they find Kong in the bad spot as Danny takes that kill.
This is unfortunate for the side of S8UL. They need Kong to stay online. They need him to come up as soon as possible. They're going to stop this TP. 15 seconds cooldown.
Oh, Miriam just stopping the teleport, but there's 3-4 members of them, and Miriam is going to sacrifice his life just to cancel that TP.
Yep, didn't even have his ultimate available. Had to burn the flash as well. And now, 4 minutes is here. The Tyrant has arrived, and Influence Rage looking super strong.
And Kong, he's already used the smite. It's on cooldown right now, so they actually can't even contest on this one. Influence Rage are going to pick this up for free. Yes, they are around, but again, you're giving that one away.
I mean, how many advantages do you want to get? You get the Tyrant, you also get the T1 at the top with the split push from Tempest. It's all looking good for the side of Influence Rage. They want to end the series here and now, clean slate.
They're looking very clean right now. I mean, this is a huge lead already, 2.5 or so. Doofy's on back off here. But the way that they're, again, just taking stuff off of the map, the positioning of them, they're finding Doofy in a bad spot, and they're going to take that free kill as well. The emergence potentially going in, but the Universal Law onto Fury and Danny, they are low.
No, but they don't have the long-range finish. There is no one to finish the job here, right? And if they still survive, they get away, they're going to get back to full health. And once again, you find yourself in the exact same position. You have nothing to offer at this point.
Yeah, nothing at this point. And it's kind of a sad story, if you will, but S8UL, it's one of those things where, okay, this is not looking good. How can we get ourselves back into this game? Do we go aggressive? How are we getting back?
I think it really is avoid the fights, right?
Okay.
They have to avoid the fights at this point. They have to try and farm safely and also understand what rotations are possible. This needs to be done by Doofy. He needs to let the team know whether buffs are up, what kind of rotations are being made on the side of Influence Rage. He's already giving the vision.
Okay, but it looks like they have all 5 members. They try to go all in. They do get the pickoff. They find Leffy. And on the backside, it looks like Fury's going to be targeted on next, and he too will fall. That is a great ambush attempt, but Miriam a little bit low. They find Extreme. Danny has showed up, but he gets stun locked here on this side. And now with that Raging Sea completely whizzing KLTZ, who gets back onto the tower. Doofy is still duking it out with Danny. Danny decides to turn it up. He actually leaps over the wall, but they're going to dive the tower, and Mena not able to find Miriam in the end.
It was a sliver of hope, right? It looked great. 2 kills for the side of S8UL, but the punish coming in from this side of Influence Rage was exactly the same as well in quality. Now, Danny, recovery 4-0-1. This guy is a monster in the making, and there is no slowing down. 3,000 gold lead. Majority should be in the hands of Danny here.
Yeah, Danny is that guy, right? He is literally the guy in terms of just like when the team fights are happening, you got to get out. Extreme trying to flash away. The mini stun on. He's not getting out of that one as Danny finds yet another. Miriam is going to charge on back, but they've been completely zoned away from this bottom T2.
Yep, it's not even about taking a fight. It's just pushing them back, so the backdoor defense will be unlocked by the moving minions on the bot side of the way of the lane. And right now, Influence Rage, they have absolute control over the gorge.
Yeah, absolute control. I mean, S8UL were able to find a couple pickoffs. Things were looking decent for them in terms of this comeback, but then Danny shows up and you're like, wait, actually, we are really that far behind.
Yeah, but it's a difficult position to be in because if you take a look at the 2 main tanks, they're eating too much damage before the fight actually starts. Now, this was looking great for a moment, but look at how many spells they threw, how many ultimates they dropped down to try and get the 2 kills. These are the squishiest targets, and you have to use so many resources.
Yeah, they threw everything. But Danny, finding that backline. Once he shows up, he's like that superhero, right? And he was able to find enough, and they were able to kind of take them down because of his damage. And again, Danny has been the guy. If he's nearby, you just got to run, if you will.
Yeah, man, this is the byproduct, right? Hang on.
Oh, they find Tempest. The nice little charge back. Mena trying to control, but the Raging Sea is going to be on point. They find Tempest. Doofy doing a little bit of work, but he's going to be whittled down by Leffy, trying to focus him down. S8UL are going to just walk away. Emerges just barely misses Doofy.
And why did Influence Rage take that fight? Take a look at the top side of the map, right? They not only get the split push going in, quite a bit of damage on the T3, and right now they could be looking for more. Kong needs to move away. In fact, the rest of them kill TZ as well as Doofy. They have to be really careful with Extreme. Get away from this position. It's so dangerous.
Oh, so dangerous with Danny there. Mena getting a little bit low. The charge on back. Danny now getting focused here. He's a bit on the squishier side. He's going to use the healing too, but S8UL finding ways to get back in. I mean, they're, taking the fight to him.
4,000 gold difference in advantage to Influence Rage. Not bad for being in this position to try and hang on. 8.5 minutes, this is a Tyrant, the normal Tyrant, not the enhanced one, so it's still okay for the side of Influence Rage. Big question now is, what is the mental state here, right? It feels like they have the ability to recover, but do they even get the chance? Because Influence Rage, they still have a good control of the map.
But taking that Tyrant is just like a baby step towards the right direction in terms of how this game is looking to go, at least if you're an S8UL fan. That's what you want to do. You got to win the little things to compound it into something much bigger. Miriam getting focused here. The creation blocks are going to do a little bit more, but not enough to take him down. They're under the mid T1.
Oh, Goofy.
Oh, the stuns. Oh, they're absolutely real. He's getting whittled, and now it looks like Miriam tried to go all in, but Leffy finds him. Tempest is going to be traded away. It's a clash for clash, and now Danny, he's going to just back off on this one. They're going to be happy with that trade.
It's a full trade of resources as well, but the ultimates are coming back off cooldown. Danny already has his. Meanwhile, Extreme and Doofy have theirs, but Doofy is so low. Doofy, I feel like he needs to take less damage. He's getting the vision, sure, but do it without getting hit.
Yeah, I think that Doofy is thinking the same thing. He's like, I need to take less damage, but they just keep focusing me, right? I think the game plan is definitely there, but now, I mean, if anything, it's about that vision game. Just like understanding and tracking where the enemy team is.
They can't defend this. This is a T2 for free on the side of Influence Rage. Doofy does not have the madness as well to get his ultimate off. So, you know what? Taking a T1 at the top, that's the best they can do. I like it.
Yeah, you'll take what you can get, right, in terms of that spacing. I mean, Tempest is there. He'll kind of clear. This is a numbers advantage in the mid lane. It looks like Miriam trying to go in. Mena looking to duel on this one, and now with that Raging Sea off to the side, they find Kong. The burst is real, and Doofy too will fall. Kilteezy not able to pick off it looks like Mena. He's going to survive, but Kilteezy taking a lot of damage. Is he able to get away? That was a baby Universal Law, and Tempest on the prowl with the Formless. Not quick enough.
He was looking good at it. He had the true mantra. He had the flash as well. I knew what was coming. And you know what Tempest said? Chill out, guys. We don't take too many unnecessary risks here.
Yeah, and now with this Overlord, and it looks like they want the Tyrant. They're going to go for both at the same time. Very greedy, but when you've got 2 members down and this lead, I think it's okay for Influence Rage.
Yep, double OBJ, I love to see this. It shows you to what extent, like Danny, he's also making sure they don't have the Primal Bond. This is what you should do if you want a double objective. That's enhanced version, Shadow variants, by the way.
Yeah, synchronized, a big neutral taking, right? That was the perfect way, but again, DJ can break this one down.
Yeah, I mean, this is all down to Miriam, right? He wanted to get the setup. Good idea, but that Matrix coming in from the side of Fury, that was so monumental in the fight, allowing for a lot of damage coming in with Annihilation as well.
Oh, Miriam, a little bit low. Danny, not enough damage to take him down, but S8UL, tuck tail run. They hide under the top T3 here, but Influence Rage not looking to give this up. They have at least the Siege Catapult. Do they have enough damage to take it down? They do not.
I mean, at this point, they have to trade health points for the defense.
Yes.
Right? And that's not a good situation. It means you fight unfairs. And Influence Rage, they take the T3 in the middle. This is going to open up the doors. This might be the last fight here.
Yeah, the Shadow Vanguard is in the bottom lane as well. Kong trying to deal with that Vanguard. That will slow things down, at least for now. Top lane, that was the big push. They take the top T3.
Okay, now Kong does have the Blood Rage. This might be a, the smallest of advantages, I hope. But S8UL on their last legs. This is the last T3. It looks like it's going to be taken down.
Yeah, Meta just walking forward. Miriam just getting slowly picked off. The Raging Sea is going to be committed. The shields are on point, though. And now with the head Annihilation, they do find Miriam. And now Kong, he too will fall. Doofy getting a little bit low, and he will fall as well. They've taken the 4 members down. And now Keltizi not able to do so. And it looks like Influence Rage are going to take game number 2 in this series.
Upper bracket secure. Now, the strongest teams have made it work in this part of the day, which means they will be going up against Buriram United Esports.
Yeah, and I think that they're going to be super happy with that result on this one. Influence Rage coming to play 2-0 very quickly, if you will, but that was looking like a team that was on the next level here.
I mean, they said they were ready for the international stage, and Kaiba said they wanted more, and this is exactly what I want to see out of Influence Rage. Good start.
Very good start. It couldn't be better, right? But at the same time, S8UL, they had their moments. Let's not discourage what they did. They were able to find it out, but again, just too much Influence Rage in the end.
Yep. I mean, this is their first international, right? So this is a good learning experience. Not many people get to go to the international stage as a training grounds, you know, right? First major event, you're in Paris, right here on the big stage. This is going to be an important lesson, and they need to recover fast.
Very quickly. There's no other time. We have one more series. You lose that one, you're going home. So if anything, right now, you got to just kind of shake things up and get back into it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for match number 2. Influence Rage is going to be the winners. Influence Rage is going to move forward in the upper bracket, and today they're going to be playing against Buriram United Esports for that first ticket into the group stage.
And the both of them, on how they exactly played the series, it was very, very similar in a very dominating fashion for both Buriram and also the side of Influence Rage, where they choke out their opponents through map resources, force them to take uncomfortable fights, and then that 10-minute mark, when it hits, they clean up the game easily here. And you gotta say, when we go into the upper bracket later to decide the first Group A slot into the group stage, that's gonna be interesting because it's really hard to predict who's gonna win out.
Of course, no, but before we jump into what's gonna happen into that upper bracket, right? Let's just put our eyes into S8UL, right? They had some moments, some sparks of really top-level performance in this game as well, right?
Yeah, they did. I mean, the draft-wise, I mean, going into a best-of-3, there's so many more better picks I feel like you could have gone for. Obviously, like the Zhang Yu here into the Clash lane. I mean, what are you really doing, right? What are you charging into? You're charging into a creation block of the newer? Like, what do we want to really achieve here with this Clash lane pick? It didn't seem like it was actually coming into fruition here. And in terms of, obviously, like, the actual tempo of, like, scaling, mid-game, it was kind of, like, all over the place.
Yeah, that was a good point, right? Like, they actually saved it in as one of the last few pickups here, and this is some of the highlights coming in from game 1, where that wombo combo coming in from Mena on that zombie unbridled outburst, connecting with Tempest with that Razor Cavalry was just so beautiful for that specific play. And Leffy, I don't know, buddy, that healing deal is probably not for you.
Yeah, Leffy should have gone righty, right? Like, he should have definitely stayed away from that T1 turret down to the bot side, but there were some actual, like, there were some good things here for Soleil, right? They were trying to set up the team fights, obviously, there with Doofy, but it just all fell apart. They were able to compose it here onto the side of Influence Rage.
And I like the fact that you pointed out, like last year, it was Danny's year in playing those utility junglers, those tanky bruiser styles, but coming in towards this specific series, man, he's improved. He brought back the Jing, he brought back the Ukiyo Tachibana here, and both of the games, 0 deaths occurred for this jungle player.
His identity has always been like that, right? Like, he's always been an assassin.
Oh, yeah.
He's always in the jungle, getting the resources, trying to get the kills. That is exactly the Danny that we know.
Absolutely. I mean, to be honest, though, did we expect anything different here from Influence Rage? And I mean, yes, obviously, they go up against Soleil Esports. They do dominate in a 2-0 fashion, but the bar for that domination isn't quite, obviously, what they're going to be reaching into this next phase, right? Obviously, Buriram United really showed some great colors and really big promises here.
S8UL is going to be working their way up tomorrow to try to keep alive in the tournament. But what about if we go on stage right now? Mara got Danny that is going to break through everything that just happened in this game. Mara, please go.
We're here with Danny from Influence Rage. Congratulations. In both games, you were amazing. But you know, what really struck out to us was game number 1. You finished it in 8 minutes. You did not allow your opponent to get any objectives or any tower. So what was the key to having this high level of map control?
I think it's because like the matchup against them, like we have a lot of experience. So the difference between us and them, like in this series, I think is the experience. So that's why like we just smashed the game like in 8 minutes because they are new in this game, right? They are playing like for 3 months, I think. So yeah, in the second game, I feel it's gonna be like the same. It was to be the same, but yeah, we made a lot of mistakes.
But it was great that you're also acknowledging the experience of your opponent. And what we also noticed was that for every pick, before every objective, you got a pick. And how important was it for your team to have this level of aggressive play style to have such a convincing win?
Yeah, this is the style that we like it to play also in Brazil. We are an aggressive team, so we like to fight a lot. We like to invade. We like to fight like for everything for the TPs. So yeah, this is the style of our region, I think. So yeah, that's the difference.
And with that, fight, we're gonna see another one later on. So Influence Rage, your team, will go up against Buriram United as our 5th match of the day. And we want to see and hear about your honest predictions for that one.
I mean, Buriram United for sure, they are like a really great team. They are also champions in their game. So yeah, I expected that series gonna be like a really good series, but for sure we are ready. We're training a lot and we are in my house, right? We are in HLK, so we're gonna win and we're gonna to the group stage.
Let's invite the viewers to support you later.
So thank you very much, guys. You guys are supporting our team a lot. You guys are sending message every time. So yeah, we're gonna try our best in the next match and we're gonna to the group stage. So thank you very much and keep support us.
Danny, as always, you're amazing. Once again, congratulations, and we'll see you for the 5th match. You heard it from Danny, and now we're gonna hear from our casters. Lead the Gorge.
With total class and an amazing sportsmanship feeling right over there, Danny just break it up on what it was. Like once upon a time, there were the teams that they had months only of experience, and right now, after years and years of clashes, they have gained experience to right now being the ones to lead the Gorge, as Mara also was saying. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna jump into a short break, and after we come back, we're gonna have our next game that is gonna have Nonshin Red Force and OG Esports.
Play is in our DNA. Whenever we let it out, it becomes our superpower. Now imagine an entire city being built to supercharge it. Kadir City, powered by play.
The human body was built to move, not trapped at a desk in one singular posture for 12 hours a day. It's time your chair evolved. This is Secret Lab Titan Evo. Ergonomically engineered for you, gamers, hybrid workers, artists, backing your every move.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the KWC 2026. We're going to jump into our match number 3 of the day. Group A is already done. We're going to move with the action in Group B. And who do we have over there in Group B? Two teams that they do not need any introduction. Nonshin Red Force against OG Esports.
Yep, before we actually jump back in towards it, right, we have this specific tournament bracket here where Brunei United Esports took down Team Flash in a 2-0 fashion, and in Group A itself, we also saw how Influence Rage dismantled S8UL Esports in that game just now.
So, big moments from Group A. Now we head into Group B. Nongshim Red Force is going to go up against OG Esports. This one breaks my heart because I love both teams, but they're not the only ones causing me heartbreak. It's going to be Deep Cross Gaming going up against Blacklist International. Difficult matchup for sure.
I feel like Group B as a whole, you can never get your predictions right because all these teams are pretty 50-50 in terms of their strength. And for the upcoming match for Group B, Nongshim Red Force takes on OG Esports in Group B's opening here, Isaac.
Yeah, that's going to be our Crunchyroll topic for today, right? They meet for the first time again in an international tournament. So I am really looking forward to see if this is going to be the first time that the IKL is going to have their revenge against Nonshin Red Force, right?
There's a first for everything, so maybe today is that day. But I also want to talk about how this team is constructed, right? We talked about the replacements that Nongshim Red Force has done throughout the second half of 2025, coming into 2026. A lot of big changes for them, and those changes have brought them a certain level of success. OG, on the other hand, the 5 different teams, 5 different members, did they produce the same result?
I mean, you gotta look at it from a perspective, right? Where Nongshim Red Force, yes, 2 members out. We have Ratel and also Namu as the new players here. And then you look towards the side OG. They moved from previously known as KMW, now KML, to IKL with their star player Dao Dao. And it has been going pretty okay thus far, where they've been finding wins, they've been finding momentum, but they ended 3rd in IKL. So if you're 3rd in IKL, can you beat KML's 2nd place?
I mean, numbers are very important, right? And but these numbers keep changing. That's the thing. OG Esports, as they walk their way to the stage, can they find the confidence to break Nongshim Red Force apart?
And to talk about this specific roster, right? Yes, it's coming from different players, different background, coaches, and everything. But if you look and dive deep in towards it, Omkru is their coach. He was top 8 last year with Bigatron by Vitality, and Dao Dao with OG, top 8 as well. And Neil, also Bigatron by Vitality. So you actually have a lot of players coming in towards this roster that has sufficient competitive experience in a top level.
Okay, I agree. Yes, you have the quality, but you have to find the balance. The flavor is so important. It needs to be just right. And Nongshim, I feel like they have found that exact flavor. The heat, the spice, the different rotations. I mean, it feels like I'm cooking a pot of noodles at this point. But yeah, they have been cooking so far for Nongshim Red Force, and I like this roster.
And to go back in time slightly, right? When was the last time we saw OG Esports? It was all the way back in March or April when IKL was still happening here. So it has been, 4 months since their last gameplay. But for Nongshim Red Force, they represented Republic of Korea back at Asian Games qualifiers, and they look amazing here. So it's about available information versus delayed information that has been not available for quite a while now.
course. We have seen OG Esports already, like, they have had a little bit of a sabbatical already for some time. That could work into different ways, right? Like, they could have actually just spent all of this time just trying to work their way into understanding the meta for this KWC 2026. On the other hand, we could always just think about, like, is this non-Shin Red Force that has been competing a lot more right now, is that going to give them an advantage or not?
I want to talk about a very small piece of information.
Yes.
Omkurus
Yes.
used to be a professional AOV player.
Oh.
So he has some information for OG. So I'm wondering if he's going to take what he has seen just now from the Buriram and Flash games, as well as the Influence Rage and S8UL games, and bring us to a completely different world for this best of 3.
Let's just spotlight the coaches for a bit, right? Like, because both of them have very different styles. They have a very strong identity, and they coach their teams in very different ways, right?
Yes. For me, I think Coach YK, which is the coach coming in from nonstop Red Force, is about discipline, doing things at the correct timing here. And the draft is actually very, I would say, stable and static here. Like, you pick A, I counter with B, and then we slowly pace off with the global ban picture. But for Omkurus, you've seen his games back in Big Control by Vitality here. Zhuangzi jungle, Marco Polo farm lane, weird picks all around. Did it work to a certain extent? But that's the thing that makes this person special coming in from the side of OG Esports. It's his flexibility in actually taking on the blame for his team for draft mistakes. But with mistakes, there's also risk. And with risk, there's also high rewards.
I mean, that's a responsibility, right? You give the tools for the team, but it's up to the players to be able to execute the movements to perfection.
Correct.
And I feel like the hero pools, I want to just pinpoint into the jungle.
Yep.
Haku against the jungler Dao Dao. That one's interesting because both heroes, they have very deep hero pools.
Yeah, and towards this point, right, I think as we watch so many games of nonstop Red Force throughout the years, I feel like nonstop Red Force, at the very least for Haku, there's one specific hero that he doesn't have in his pool, Jing. Which Dao Dao 100% has.
Okay, maybe we won't get to see the Jing though, because I think Dao Dao is more comfortable on the Luna.
Yeah, okay. And yeah, both junglers are pretty comfortable with the Luna here. We've seen highlight reels from them back in their KME, KMW days, so maybe coming in towards this draft here, Luna might be one of the specific picks to look out for, but in terms of the traditional drafting style, I still feel that Pei, Aoyin, these are definitely top tier, and then the AOV hero starts coming in. Florentino has been banned, what? In almost every single game, and we have yet to see a single appearance of it, and every time there is a Lorien, it has been showing amazing performance thus far in this tournament.
I like the fact that it's 0% show rate for Florentino, but it seems to be 100% win rate, if I'm not wrong, for all the Lorien games we have seen so far, right? So the moment you pick Lorien, you win the game. Let's hope that that stat continues, because I want to see more Lorien games. It's really interesting how they use that total of what, 2 seconds of CC. It's an instant delete button.
And towards this specific pick of Lorien, right? Yes, it may seem like a very strong pick. It is. I have it ranked at like tier 0.5 to tier 1.
Okay.
This hero is exceptionally good that you can pick it in the first phase. I believe in a longer series format in BO5 and BO7.
Yeah.
This hero either highly pick or almost 100% pick and ban. Now, what kind of heroes counters Lorien here? Based on my conversation with some of these pro teams, they mentioned like hard engage like Mai Shiranui, hard engage like a Guan Yu, for example. These things are what you can actually try to dissect the Lorien pick.
Yes, and you know, one of the discussion points we have, besides the mid lane matchup of Lorien, we expected him to be picked quite a lot. It's also about the roam. So on the roam side, you know, we talked about Kui coming into play in this meta. I have not seen a single Kui today. Can I please be blessed with one game? Just one.
I feel like Kui, I will definitely 100% want to see it here. And if it's anywhere, it's definitely going to be here because Namu has picked it a lot of times before in clutch games. But Isaac, what do you think?
I really look forward for the Quay, man. Like, the Quay is one of those heroes that I just enjoy so much watching. Like, just the ability that it has, like the way that you use that hero with the hooks. But well, maybe they will let us watch it. Maybe they won't. Holler, Nora, let's take it from here.
All right, thank you so much, Isaac. As we go into, of course, the third series, this one has been a lot of hype, especially when we're talking about the play-ins. And my name is Holler. With me is Nora. I'm so happy to be here with you on the desk. But your thoughts on these two teams?
Well, my thoughts on these two teams is that it's kind of like a deja vu for the EWC last year, because they actually met up against each other last year in the group final for the first round, and that was a 2-0 goes to OG. So again, this time Nongxin face against OG again, first played in EWC this year, while they make their revenge on OG.
Oh, is it revenge? Is it bad blood? How are the, I mean, going in, the rosters are slightly different from when we did see them in that rematch, right?
True.
But I think that at the end of the day, OG, you still have Dao, which we know is one of the strongest players on the team. They've leveled up, I would say, with Amcoris as coach. I like OG in general. I mean, the fact that they got here, I think it was a little bit of a surprise, if you will.
Yeah, well, I feel like they are definitely like a jungler core playstyle. So this time they definitely will put a lot of strength on Dao again, since he already got like 12 MVPs back into the springtime. So definitely, yeah. And I would say maybe Nongxin, they were kind of restricted the heroes on the side of OG.
Yeah. And I think that Nongxin's on the other side. You're talking about jungler. Let's talk about the other side. It's Haku, right?
Yes.
He also is a very aggressive one. I don't know in terms of like level, if he's the same level as Dao, but he's still, I would say the team success revolves around his play, correct?
Yes, I totally agree with you. So I'm looking forward to seeing like both assassin jungler play against each other.
Okay.
And for the BP phase, actually we can see Mai will be the first one, goes over to Nongxin Red Force. While Illusion is definitely going to be the shot caller of the game.
Yes, and actually this is one of his signature heroes.
Yes.
He will almost always pick this one because, again, the Mai Shiranui, there are many reasons to like her, but she's also about that tempo.
Yeah.
Illusion loves to play these types of mobile, high damage type of mid laners, if you will.
Yes, I feel like he's always going to pick Mai every time, each game. But Lauren's been so popular right now so far in EWC, and it's actually doing well.
Yeah, it's actually done very well. It's funny because it's been available even in the Asian Games qualifier, but no teams were really willing to pick it. But we've seen it time and time again. Every single series, it's been first phase picked. It is incredibly strong. I mean, even in my own ranked games, the Lorien hero absolutely destroys. So, I mean, seeing it on the big stage, your thoughts on this?
Well, I feel like maybe it's because it's kind of new, so teams and also the players need time to get to know this hero more throughout the game, and also because of its long attacking range and also the burst out damage coming from this Lorien, so it can do both good in the laning and also in the team fight.
Yes, it adds quite a bit, right? A lot of flexibility. That orb and that damage is unreal.
Yeah.
It kind of controls things. But if we're looking on the other side, Nongxin's lineup, I mean, the Aaron, the Zhang Fei, the Mai, these are more traditional Honor of Kings esports heroes, correct?
Yes, and it's pretty solid, I would say.
Agreed.
Like, you can never go wrong with the Zhang Fei pick, and also with this Irene. Well, I do like the Irene pick because it's kind of just guarantee the output through the team fight. So I would say Nongxin Red Force is looking for a very well-rounded composition for this game.
Agreed. And I think that it's funny because they see the Arlie. They know that, you know, on the other side, it's going to do definitely its own damage from a hem.
Yeah.
But the Aaron has kind of risen in popularity in terms of like a counter. It has that like homing missile, if you will, but it has definitely play. But your thoughts on the Aaron overall?
Yes, I feel like Aaron is kind of like a safety pick because Arlie, yeah, definitely you can manipulate this hero in a more artistic way. But if you just go for small mistakes and everything might just fall up because of the Arlie pick.
Okay. And it looks like they're going to go with the Guan Yu, a little bit more of that control, because you know that if they're going to jump on top of you, you have that Razor Cavalry, push them away, kind of make things very easy, especially when you're talking about a Lorien with those orbs, to kind of be in that bad spot. And you want to control the battlefield as much as possible. So the Guan Yu always tried and true in the Clash lane.
And I do think this Guan Yu might be the pivot of the whole composition goes to OG, because we mentioned about how well-rounded that Nongxin is trying to form up with their format, but like for this Guan Yu pick, he can easily disrupt about this Irene and just kind of being such a great threat among the team fight.
All right, it looks like the last two picks have been locked in by Nongxin Red Force here, Umbrosa and the Ying. And we've seen Haku love this hero Ying. It's definitely done quite a bit, but the Reptel Umbrosa has actually added a nice wrinkle into this lineup as well.
True, and also a lot of players thought Umbrosa can be such a great counter pick towards this Guan Yu because you can do good at the laning phase, and also because of the poking damage coming from this Umbrosa, and also you can easily get attached to this early during the team fight. So I do think Umbrosa might be the hero for Nongxin this time.
All right, and now it looks like OG are going to finalize their draft, picking up the Kaiser here. They're going to go as tanky as possible to kind of deal with this, to be that frontliner. But in terms of draft, though, who are you giving the edge to?
Well, it's very hard to say actually, because for this Kaiser pick, if he really do this Kaiser well, you know, when the Kaiser is using his ulti, then he can actually block a great amount of damage dealt by this Umbrosa and also by this Irene.
Okay.
So if he play it in a wise way, I would say I would put my money on OG this time.
Okay, you're gonna put money down? All right, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not here to gamble, but I think that I do like the idea of the draft. I think it's very smart. The Lorien and the Arlie will definitely be doing a lot of the damage. You have so many guys to like CC. You've got crowd control in terms of like moving people around as well. So it adds a lot of ticks on the boxes, if you will. But if we're looking at the other side, the Nongxin one, for me, it's about this Umbrosa and the Ying.
Yes.
Are they able to find some of the squishier, like the Lorien and the Arlie here?
Well, I think like the Impic, the main point about this Impic is trying to get her eyes on this Guan Yu and try to block Guan Yu away during the team fight.
Okay, all right, we're gonna find out. This is the third series of the day, game number 1. OG, Nongxin Red Force, who will be moving on to the upper brackets in these play-ins. Incredibly scary, and already we're going to start with a little bit of action in this mid lane here.
A lot of skirmishes can already be seen in the mid lane. And actually, I'm really curious about how strong that Group B can be, because we've seen all the matches performed by Group A, and it all end up with a 2-0.
Yeah. So, I mean, Group A has been nothing but 2-0s. I will find out in the next, the upper bracket in terms of just who's going to just kind of move on with that. But I think for me, Group B is the group of death, I would say, in the play-ins. I think the teams are a little bit more on a different level. Not to say that Group A are bad or anything. It's just that the competitive level is much higher, I would say, in Group B.
Yeah, I feel like players are more experienced.
Yes. Yeah, and as we go in, it looks like to this bottom lane, for me, obviously Dao Dao is that guy, right? The Kaiser, though, but it's not a really, like an assassin style. So he's going to be looking to keep him alive, and I think that it's more of like a protect composition, if you will.
And the shortage about this Kaiser pick is that it's not that efficient about his farming in the jungle. So that might cause a little bit of problem in the early game of OG.
Okay, all right. But now, if we're talking about the Nongxin side, who is the one guy you're like, okay, he has to have a good game?
Well, Umbrosa definitely Ritel, and also he's the new one to Nongxin, right? Compared their roster to last year. So I'm looking forward to the synergy between Ritel and also Hakun.
Yeah. I actually like that, right? Because Ritel, again, he was kind of coming in for Kyung9. You were like, where's he going to be able to fit in? If we're talking about S4, didn't have the greatest start because, again, he was trying to, you have to play on the international level, like right away. It was a lot of pressure for him, but it looks like Ritel and Namu right now are really gelled with this team.
Yes, and you can see like how aggressively that Ritel is playing right now. Because as I said, a lot of players thought like Umbrosa can be a great counter-attack towards this Guan Yu pick.
Oh, Siri gets knocked up. He gets control, but the shields are on point. Namu with the pushback onto 663, who takes some tower shots, but he too will survive. But OG, I like this aggressive play.
Yes, and because of the Lorien, he can actually win the lane of the mid, so he rotate down fastly and make it to a 3-1 skirmishes happening at the farm lane.
Okay, let's talk a little bit. You already pointed out Ritel, right, on this Umbrosa. But in terms of lane matchup, how does it do against the Guan Yu overall?
Well, I think Umbrosa can do great against this Guan Yu pick. So, and also Umbrosa can actually support to his team members faster than this Guan Yu around 4 minutes mark.
Okay. And I think in terms of these team fights, with like Illusion and Ritel jumping in, will really kind of create a little bit of chaos, especially on this back line. And so Ihans and Dao Dao, they need to be on point. They need to ensure that they're like the perfect security guards for like a Hem and Neil at the end.
Yes, and also they need to guarantee the vision is pretty clean for this Arlie around this 4 minute.
Yes. By the way, what role do you play?
Wow, mid.
Okay, you're mid. Okay. Are you a Mai?
Well, I
player?
could, maybe.
Okay. All right.
Or I can be the Xiao Qiao.
Okay.
Like simple,
Yes,
but
yes. Excellent. Okay. But now in terms of this like mid-game matchup, right? I mean, the Mai on the one side, the Lorien, like how does Neil deal with Illusion as a Mai here?
Well, I think Mai can be the first hand to, just open the skirmishes. But
Okay.
for Lorien, you need to make sure that you poke enough and then use your skill 3 to dash in.
Got it. Okay, so it looks like the setup has been there. I mean, this 4-minute Tyrant is about to be started. Namu with the vision, but it looks like both sides right now really not looking to fully contest here. As
Yes.
OG, again, they're just like tethering it, but Dao Dao's not even close to this Tyrant.
And because it's too early for both teams to, just rush the dragon because the damage out is definitely not enough. They need to scale up a little bit more.
Okay.
So they are a little bit hesitant about whether they're gonna go for this dragon or not.
Got it.
They're kind of afraid of if they just wait all their skills onto this dragon, how they're gonna handle the team fight come up for it.
Okay. But it looks like they're going to start the Tyrant here, and they want to put the pressure onto Nongshim to have to sort of react. The Tyrant getting very low. The Umbrella Outburst is not enough. They've already taken the Tyrant. Ahem will take that one out, and now Dao Dao is going to be backing off. OG get that right pick off, and Nongshim left wanting.
Well, you feel like OG, they have their own pace, even though we haven't seen any kills happen right now yet. But you can see like they're waiting for Dao Dao coming into this camp and try to guarantee the dragon for them in the early game.
Yeah, the spacing was actually on point, right? The way that they were able to take it, because Nongshim, it seemed like, oh crap, they're starting it. We need to get there. And then we're too late. OG with a perfect fortified area, ensuring that they secured it. There was no 50-50 smite battle.
True. So it's pretty much like OG, they are presetting for this dragon.
True. And now Nongshim on this other side, like we knew it was going to be close, but the net worth is still in favor of Nongshim of all things. But now here comes the Razor Cavalry. They actually find him, and Haku trying to get onto the tower. He will be fine, but first blood is going to happen elsewhere as Namu does fall. But Dao Dao fighting 1 versus 2. They're going to continue with that, but OG taking the bottom T1.
And you can see like the same trick that OG did against 3 versus 2 with this Nil coming up down and help Aham to get that winning lane at the bottom.
Yeah, actually huge, right? Taking down Namu and then taking the tower. OG right now, that is a huge win. That's going to open things up in terms of spacing. Nongshim right now they have to respond in some fashion.
Yes.
All right, but now back into this mid lane they go. I think Illusion, one thing I haven't seen too much is that he's not really rotating too much. He's kind of just sticking with it. It seems like OG are kind of spotting out where Illusion is at all times.
And the detail about that is because you can see every time when the minions coming into the mid lane, Dao Dao is always being there. So it's always going to be a 2 versus 1. So Mai and Illusion can't really get control of the mid lane.
Bitter farewell. Oh, the nice pushback. The ult was unreal by Namu, but he's going to be whittled. He's going to be focused down. Ihan's not able to find the right target. OG, again, they're trying to fight, but they can't find the right target.
I mean, like a nice ulti down by Namu, but the problem is that not sufficient for the burst out damage coming out from Nongshim, because we mentioned about how important Ambrosia should be there.
True.
But you can see, after the skirmishes happened, actually the positioning is not that well for Nongshim.
Yeah, they weren't able to. I mean, the positioning, yeah, they had to run. They couldn't really take that team fight, but that created space for Siri to take the bottom T1. So overall a win, I think that they're going to be happy with that at least.
Yes.
All right, now into the top lane they go. OG, they will continue with this push. Nongshim have responded in kind, but the biggest factor for me is that how the game is going to go is based on these mid T1s. Both of them are still standing. Net worth is literally neck and neck.
Yes, and also the split and push might be very important in the middle game.
Yes. And now it looks like they're going to be aggressive here. 663 with that bitter farewell. He heartlinks on back to safety. He will be fine, but Nongshim again, you got to protect your jungle as much as possible here.
You can actually feel like Nongshim is trying to make something happen, but the problem is that you can't find your target appropriately.
Yes, you can't find it at all. I mean, Dao Dao right there, he was not able to take the Azor, couldn't even attempt to go for the smite because it was hidden away in that brush. Too dangerous for him. Dao Dao is just looking to stay alive.
That's true. And also, like OG, they are separated and they are making things happen simultaneously.
Yes.
At the top, at the bottom. So that kind of just makes some trouble for Nongshim.
Yeah, and that's the spacing, right? That's how good teams are going to play, because they're going to put pressure from all different angles, and like what side is going to actually crumble. And I think that OG have responded correctly, I would say.
Yes.
All right, now it looks like the Azure Golem is going to be taken away. Dao looking to go in. He's a little angry. He's going to be pushing on back, and it looks like Neil gets a little bit low. He's trying to stay alive on that side, but they find Haku. The pickoff has been real. Ihans is looking to run away. Ahem is going to sacrifice his own life, fighting 1 versus 3, but double kill on his way out. It looks like it's a 2-for-1 thus far, but 663 so low. He too will fall. Siri gets that pickoff, and he's going to get under the tower. They turned it around. It was just bait, and they find Dao as well.
We thought like Nongxin might fall apart after the attack happened, but the thing is that Siri survived throughout the team fight and dealt like sufficient burst out damage to this team. And this might be the turning point of the game, I mean.
That was definitely, it's looking to be like the tipping point, right? I think that if you're not able to kill Siri, why are we fighting, right?
Yes.
I mean, Haku, it's going to attract a lot, but again, Nora, please break this down.
Well, I mean like nice controllability coming from In this time. He actually guaranteed that Irene could be in a very safe place at the first beginning. So you can see like no damage actually is dealt to this Siri. So he can play in such a comfortable way. And everyone just played around with Siri and just pushing forward.
And it also didn't seem like Ahem was finding Siri, right?
Yes.
Like he needs to just focus on him. Illusion and Haku are a bit of a problem, but you gotta leave Rattel and Namu alone. Those are the last guys you need to take on down.
Sure.
All right, now it looks like we've kind of entered about the 10-minute mark. The Shadow Tyrants, the Shadow Variants are going to be spawning now. But with this slight lead, is this going to be enough for them to take over this game?
Well, I feel like 10 minutes mark is definitely going to be their pivot because enough equipment that we can see made for Siri. So they're like playing as a bodyguard around Siri right now. You can see that the position is quite decent and they try to guarantee that Siri will be put into a really comfortable setting.
Yeah, that's not easy to do when you're able to kind of, again, just create that spacing. You said it was like the bouncer, the security guard, and it did a really good job of, because OG could never find an angle to even contest. Very smartly played by Nongxin there.
And if you are looking for a door opened by OG, I would say put Ehans under the spotlight because Guan Yu might be the only person can make that happen.
Yeah. But if he's able to find that perfect Razor Cavalry, they could completely shift this game into their favor, right?
Yes,
they have that chance. So it's a never say die attitude, assuming you're able to find that right angle. And now it looks like the Umbrella Outburst just on the side, completely whiffing, but they find Illusion. That's going to be picked up. 663, he's going to fall as well. And now Dao trying to focus it down. They find Rattel, who's got his secondary life, but he's been pushed onto the tower. He will survive as he flashes away, and here comes Haku. Off to the side they go. Ihans trying to go in, but he's going to sacrifice his own life. Dao not able to find it, and again, Siri survives.
Siri survived again, and he's definitely going to be the hero of Nongxin this time. I mean, like, everything just kind of seemed optimistic to OG because Illusion is a little bit harsh in that play. But the thing is that once OG came in, they feel like they got numbers in advantage, and then the target was Umbrosa.
Yeah.
They didn't really pay attention to Siri. That's a problem for OG.
Definitely. And rightly pointed out, because again, he's got that secondary life, so Rattel's like, actually, I'm doing my job. I'm tanking this. I have that secondary life. And it just played that one perfectly in the sense of just like absorbing all of that so that the rest of them can do that damage. Siri, again, staying alive with this.
True.
All right, now it looks like OG have to find a way to, again, find like an avenue back into this game. It seems like OG right now have their number.
And I feel like OG really need to, be more careful to Siri, and also Ehans need to be at the back.
Yes. Yeah, Ehans, it seemed like he was going in, but the fight had already happened. It's better when he's kind of coming in, sweeping them into your side, so you have a much easier chance of just like taking them all down.
True.
All right, now OG on this side. It looks like, again, they're still grouping up, looking for that angle. Nongxin not giving anything. Even Siri playing very aggressively up front.
And do you see the positioning of Rattel and Haku? They are trying to guarantee that each bush, there's no one ambushing in that place.
Smart. That's what you need to do. Because the only way you lose this game is if Ehans finds that angle. If he's able to flank you and push, again, everybody into your team, you got a chance.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, now this bottom T3, it looks like Siri, off to the side they go. Ahem is trying to deal with a wave, but Dao, I mean, he's tanky, but at what cost? The Invincible Warrior is going to be committed, but now he's going to look to just run off, but they find Illusion, who dove a little bit too deep. The bottom T3 gets taken down. Nongxin, I think, are going to be happy with that trade.
I feel like the way that how Nongxin is operating this game is that Illusion is kind of baiting OG. Like, he's sacrificing himself and trying to make sure that everyone just put all of their efforts onto Illusion and just waste all their skills onto Illusions, and you know, it kind of just makes Siri to be very comfortable.
I mean, you see Illusion jumping in, getting onto that side. She is very squishy, so it's a very juicy target, if you will. So I understand OG's lineup, but I think right now you got to be like, okay, it doesn't matter about anyone else. The only thing that we need to do is find Siri in these team fights.
Exactly.
All right, and now it looks like if we're talking about damage, Neil on this Lorien, this is why we were talking about it in the pregame, in the draft. This Lorien is going to be a problem when you're able to do this much damage here. Tyrant getting takedown. He's a little bit low, but Haku gets the smite. It looks like he steals it away. And with that Unbridled Outburst, they've got a little bit of control. Dao is on the run as well as the rest of them. And they find 663. Rattel has been doing some serious work as they get the knock up on the Dao. Are they able to take down the Invincible Warrior? Yes, they are, as Rattel slices him down.
It's gonna be a killing spree, and Weekend's minions are actually on the way at the bottom, so I feel like Notion is ready to close out the game.
Yeah, they're looking to go, but they want to pad the stats. Ahem is just going to stay alive, but they're going to take the crystal, and Nongshim are going to strike first. They're going to take game number 1.
Such a great gameplay by Nongshim. You can see like they are very patient, even they fell behind in the early game, but they're just wait for Siri to scale up and just play around Siri and just pushing the game into the end.
Yeah, it looked like a very favorable game for Nongshim, but in the end, it was like, find Siri. That's the only thing we need to do. It's like, where's Waldo? Where's Siri in this case? We take him down. We got ourselves a chance. Unfortunately, OG, we're not on the same page with that. And now it looks like that's going to be it for game number 1, but let's send it right back to Isaac here.
Nonshim Red
Game number
Force,
1.
It is actually done in here. Taking that victory, it is going to be an amazing performance for them. OG Esports, on the other hand, they had the advantage at the beginning. They had a couple of opportunities to turn the game in their way, but they were unable to actually take them right now.
Yeah, it was a much of a stale.
EWC Street Fighter लाइव स्ट्रीम चल रही है भाई कौन सी चल रही है स्ट्रीट फाइटर MSC देखें प्लेऑफ्स
will be a boon to Team Spirit's final push. This could be it, Trex. Team Spirit.
By end game जीतेगी.
They don't have a wave on the top or mid though, so it's all going to have to come from the bottom here. Salo comes in. The Purify does pop, but the damage is too much. The keep goes down, and Lord is getting closer. As Zaurigo takes Nako down to about half health. Sunset Lover low, so he's forced to back off.
WMS जीतेगी भाई टेंशन ना लियो तुम.
And the Lord connects. Immortality pops. Kick over there as well with Falling Star Moon on the air, but they're locked on the base. And Vamos still can't defend. The Lord does finally go down. And Team Spirit just can't end it yet. Wave gets cleared out. Sepat is the only hope, and Abedadera might be the only explainer to be able to do this. Zaurigo is escorting that wave. Top lane limiter falls. Arrow fall to floor, and Sepat holding on the base up next. Team Spirit clean it up for game number 1. Very well done at this point, ending that game with about a 7,000 plus gold lead. Vamos scrambling through most of it. So Narmastad Winter is here, finally. The Dragons of the North showed their teeth and are on the board against Vamos. What a game. I'd say what? A good 80% of that, it was up to Team Spirit. Completely up to Team Spirit. A few moments where Vamos were able to at least fight back, fall even in team fights, or even a few moments that Team Spirit messed up, like when they stayed a little too long in the base there. Just to punish. Just to punish. And they were trying to finish. So far, this is the best shape we've seen Team Spirit in MSC 2026, even against Guangzhou in their clencher. They weren't this clean. They figured out who they are in this metagame in Scarlet Embers 2.0. Very well done by Team Spirit. So where do they go from here, right? Does Vamos have a big answer? I'm sure they'll break it down more later, but taking a look at this game, Team Spirit, you said in the very beginning, they look different, not just in draft. We got to see a slightly different variation of the way they want to come into this game in draft, but even in their gameplay, we wanted aggression from them. Once they smelled blood in the water, they were on it. They continued to fight back. Every time Vamos looked for a pickoff, Team Spirit was there with an answer. And this gives me thought or two. I think our panel should be able to break this down. What's going on with Vamos? They're usually the team, again, that plays the cleanest. The easiest equation, 1 + 1 = 2. They took so many steps to try and figure out how to take down Spirit. Next thing you know, they're doing high algebra.
all the while their base started to get taken down. I'd like to think that there's a lot for Vamos to figure out. We'll leave it to the panel to break it down after game number 1. Rainday, it's all you.
Thank you, Leo and Trex. Wow, some emotional stuff there. You see Kid Bomba's mom and sister in the crowd reacting to his big win on Team Spirit, as they should. What an incredible start there for them. And as we continue on in this game, the answers are going to now have to be found by Team Vamos as Spirit come out swinging. One of the questions we had, Renmar, Mirko, was, will this Claude work again? What can we do to see Hikomania? It was a late game pick, they said, but in just a few minutes, that game was a 7,000 gold lead for Spirit. Claude didn't seem very late game to me there.
Yeah, Spirit decided to expedite the process. They gave up the first turtle and then ganked the Brody, meaning that Hiko was comfortable in the laning phase. That simple little adjustment made huge differences for Spirit.
And it was also just subverting the expectations, right? When you pick up a Claude, it's weak side automatically, the Brody on the other side. You wouldn't really expect Team Spirit to be ganking that lane. Instead, you'd be expecting Team Spirit to actually go and contest for these neutral objectives. So really good eye, really good vision and decision from all of the members there. Because again, even up against the Guinevere, we've seen multiple teams try to double down on neutral objectives against Guinevere, and it doesn't pay off.
And it's not that Guinevere is the guaranteed win on an assassin right now. We know Era 404 can do so much, but we have seen more success with the Harara, and we have seen more success with these different choices. And now it's kind of gone back to it where you see that given to Zaur Egoist, and he has a fantastic game. But break down these stats, guys, because across the board, it was Team Spirit from beginning to end, Mirko.
It really was, man. All the way from the start, it was just fantastic by Team Spirit, the way that they were able to stay away from those team fights, because me and Renmar, we identified it earlier in the panel, right? For Vamos, they have a great composition if they can force the 5v5s, if they can force these brawls to happen together. Spirit, they use that lane dominance, and I really got to give props to that Esmeralda first pick, right? That lane dominance hit over in XP, that literally just took everything away from Vamos. He was able to rotate faster, he was gapping Subpot, and there was no other choice for Subpot to choose in the XP unless they wanted to completely sacrifice the team fights. Because again, they pick up the Benedetta, they wanted to layer another form of CC with already the Atlas, right? They couldn't do it with any other pick. Say if they wanted to go Dairoth to just counter the Esmeralda, yeah, you would counter the Esme, but then you would lose out completely on those team fights.
Yeah, Vamos had the right thought process, but in the end, because of Kid Bomba being able to dominate the lane, have his presence felt, that alleviated the pressure from Sawa and Sunset Lover. That once they got through that first layer of, okay, we got past Kid Bomba, now we go next. What are we up against? High taunt, high crowd control, Belleric, where of course Sawa was definitely feeling the hype. And then you walk into Sunset Lover's distance, you immediately get terrified, you get comboed, and then you get punished for wanting to dive. We saw that once on the Benedetta. He really wanted to go after Sunset Lover, but Sunset Lover literally stiff-armed him, said no, and then punished Sepat on the Benedetta.
Yeah, it was the MLBB version of a stiff arm there. The big problem, at least from what I saw, was that they had a game plan that they knew was coming up. Team Spirit just said, we're going to avoid giving you any opportunity to come in and Fatal Links with the Atlas. And if you do, you're only going to get our Purifies. So you're not going to be able to do it. You've got to burn it twice. And that was obviously an issue, Mirko. Break down what you saw in that game 1.
I need your help, Mr. Red.
All right, I got you, man. I got you.
All right. So for me, I'm just going to go quickly in the drafts, run this through because Renmar will, kind of talk about everything else. So firstly, I really want to talk about this Valentina ban that we saw earlier as well, right? We were talking about it. Renmar was like, oh, why did they ban the Valentina? I'm very interested. And after the game, I guess now we understand.
Yep.
They really wanted to trade either the Atlas or the Belleric. And if you leave these two heroes open, you need to ban the Valentina just because, again, whoever gets their hands on the Valentina plus the Atlas or Belleric, you're going to have another ult to play with, the other side, right? So it's either, let's say, Vamos get the Atlas here. Oh, they get the Atlas here, and then the Belleric gets picked up by Spirit. If it's another Valentina, it's going to be that layer that we were talking about. Atlas plus the Wrath of the Dryad. Next thing, it's also just the Esmeralda pickup right after they saw the Barats and the Paquito ban, right? Insta-prio in XP. Not a lot of matchups, and they ban out the Arlet straight up in that second phase. That was the only other guy that could be the layer to help this Atlas Guinevere. Because again, right now, Atlas Guinevere, you're playing around that cycle of Purify. If the Purify is baited out by one, that's cool. But the thing is, as you also pointed out, Mr. Rainday, it was also them just splitting up. Every time you go in, it can only get one Purify.
Right.
Best case scenario, you get 2 Purifies. Bait it with 1 skill, but they were always so far apart.
Then after that, obviously, it was just the subversion of expectations in the game and their execution to really bait out the Brody to walk forward, Esmeralda getting tempo and all that.
Yep. Well, it's gonna be my turn now. Give me a second. All right, I got you. All right, thank you. You're gonna have to also hold my mic over there.
Teamwork.
All right, it's just how come I made more old man noises? My age is showing.
I don't know why.
All right, this one. Okay, so we're gonna start off with this play here. This is where our two casters, Leo and Trex, are pointing out. You don't always just want to keep going after the Belleric. You're gonna have to choose differently. This is the harsh reality towards Vamos, where okay, you can try to combo one, but you will get punished later. Because here in this map, we're gonna do a quick little. I'm trying to look for my zoom in button. Oh, there we go. Okay, give me a sec. Bam, all right. So you watch where S8UL is going to be coming from. We're going to play this play out through the map instead of just the little micro decisions. Team Spirit were happy that this happened because they knew S8UL would be in a position to punish Vamos. And then once they finally realized that, oh, wait, they got no one. We're good to go. You see members slow, and you see where the Brody is. That was the sign for S8UL to go ahead and jump in. That's how they were able to get the second kill here onto the Brody, with the other one coming in from the laning phase after they gave up turtle number 1, and then they decided to just gank the bottom lane. So that was a great call by Team Spirit, and meanwhile for Vamos, a little bit desperate, wrong target, not fully respecting where the Hirara could be coming from, and then they got punished for it. And then the second one would be how Team Spirit also handled this. I love where Sawa and Hiko came from. They decided to conceal from the bottom side of the river, and then with Vamos already set up, again, this is what they want to do. Their formation wants to fight. So they had full setup for the turtle. They didn't know where the Belleric and the Cloud was, although they could surmise that they could be coming from the bottom lane from an opposite side, which is why they put Clockun over there to potentially sense. But at that point, Sawa's just going to ignore this juice in. Doesn't care. So he'll be able to get a great taunt off. Meanwhile, Hiko locks in into Clockun, and Hiko does a really brilliant BMI trick here. He goes in, he BMIs. Because the Benedetta sees him, Sepat sees him, he decides, you know what? I'm about to go down. Kid Bomba is absolutely destroying me on this Esmeralda. Let's see if we can get this Cloud out here. Force out his Purify. Just a bit. Hiko, bang. Gets out safely. Vamos was scrambled. They decided to just focus a little bit more on the heroes. Arrow 404, as you see, did not even get to use his retribution over there. So that was an easy, clean take for Team Spirit. They got turtle buffed. They get some more kills. They get some more fights. Even though Sawa goes down, they get to win the trade overall. They get more kills. They get the objective, and that's a big win.
And Nako's irrelevant. I mean, you circled in on the retribution, but you also saw Nako back there, full health. 0-2 and 0, and on the other side of things, you see the impact. Hiko is not only fighting against Clockun, gets him to half health, so Zushin can't poke in on that fight and contribute any CC or any damage, but then comes back and almost kills her again after he's been effective in the turtle fight. So both of these things, to me, like, those are great points you guys pointed out, but I think maybe the biggest thing was clearly winning that side lane and putting Nako in a defensive position, not being able to use a matchup that should have been in their favor, right, Remar?
Yeah, it's difficult too for Vamos. I understand their frustration because even in the team fighting, there's like, they're coming from the sides. Where are they coming from? Some unexpected angles of entry by Team Spirit.
Yeah.
I think that's the game plan here. They're keeping Vamos on their toes and making themselves really difficult to read for team fights.
Yeah, I think, again, if we go back to that,
because they need kind of like a front laner of this composition, because it's a little bit squishy to me right now so far.
Yeah, that is definitely a problem here. I mean, if you're looking at the other end, this OG lineup, they're going to shore it up. They're going to go the Floorborn Marksman, La Chow. You have a lot more control. But are there too many eggs in one basket, or is the Florentino and the the Floorborn Marksman enough damage here?
Well, I think like the damage is definitely enough, but will the gold be enough? Because like there's too many cores in this composition. Like Gudo needs time to scale up Florentino, and so does Floorborn Marksman and also Xiao Qiao. So how you're gonna allocate your gold is gonna be the biggest question to OG this time.
100%. Too many mouths to feed, right? That's definitely a problem here. But it's like somebody has to sacrifice, right? So I think that going into this one, when you have heroes that are very greedy and hungry and all of that, you have to make sacrifices. So how would you prioritize? Like, who is that one guy that you're like, okay, he needs to get farmed, everyone else less so?
Well, I mean, like to this patch, mid lane is always gonna be the one who's gonna sacrifice. And Xiaoto, I guess they are trying to use the skill too of Nil and trying to get some control of Nongxin. And she may just give a lot of money to Florentino and Flowable Marksman.
Yeah, to be honest, I agree with you 100%. I do think that those are the two main heroes that we're looking at. But if we're looking at the Nongxin side, who can be greedy? Who's going to be prioritized then?
Well, Haya is definitely going to be the shot caller of this game. So Nongxin, they need to make sure that Illusion this time won't lose the efficiency of the mid lane. I mean, like Haku need to go to the mid lane faster than Dao Dao this time.
Okay.
To prioritize Illusion's rotation.
Got it, got it. So it looks like, I mean, Nongxin have the advantage thus far, going in 1-0 in terms of the series. But in terms of draft, is this enough, or is OG, like, are you giving them the edge? Like, who do you like here?
Well, I feel like this time it might be 50-50, but this time it's going to be a very slow game because both teams need to scale up, and they won't fight till at least Haya upgrade to level 4.
Okay, yeah, definitely that 4-minute mark, right? That Moonscape Mirage, it will change pretty much everything in terms of how this game will play out. But yeah, I do agree 100% on this one because they like that Illusion. They want to set up their entire team fight. Their entire game revolves around Illusion's play.
Exactly, and I feel like that's kind of a little bit change to Nongxin's playstyle because last game in Game 1, we see like how they're operating the game, right? They're playing a round series to pushing forward, like pretty like a marksman core playstyle, but this time they're picking like 2 warriors. So a lot of melee fight can be seen on the side of Nongxin. So I feel like this time they are trying to play the game in a more aggressive way.
Okay, yeah, and I think that the Nongxin style, when they're aggressive, that is the way they should be playing, right? Because they are better when they're able to do that. But OG on the other side, if we're looking at kind of, Dao Dao, we expect him to kind of play the assassin style. It seems like they've kind of changed things up. I don't know if this is the best hero for Dao Dao, though, the Agudo.
Well, Agudo can be very flexible or versatile in this patch, and actually you can treat this Agudo as a marksman if he got enough money.
True.
So this time, actually, OG need to make sure that they can launch enough poking damage upon Nongxin's players because we said like a lot of melee fight can be seen on the side of Nongxin. So I think like OG this time, they need to play in a more safe style.
Okay. And for me, I mean, to kind of carry on with that, I think that the Dao Dao it's enough, right? And I think that also when you have Eons potentially on this Florentino really kind of setting things up, I think that would, really just kind of change this game because, the Florentino, everybody's kind of like, oh, how is this hero going to do, especially in this game?
Especially like Florentino can always showcase if you can pilot it well.
Yeah. All right, but here, of course, Crown the Pit, like going into this one, OG and Nongxin to see exactly which of those gods is going to take the Overlord. I like it how they've kind of added some in-game, interfaces to kind of, accentuate some of these games because, again, both of these squads, we know that this is probably one of the more competitive series.
Exactly, and they already got several titles in their own region, so Nongxin is actually the runner-up from KL, and OG is the 3rd place of IKL Spring 2026.
Yeah, so, I mean, they're not the top dog in their region, but that's why they're in the play-ins. But I do think that when we're talking about the international, like Dao Dao is always a staple. The Nongxin side, generally speaking, you'll always see them as well. So both of these squads understanding what is at stake, continuing on in the play-ins, never easy. As again, you lose twice, you're out, man.
And also speak to the players. Actually, Haku and Dao Dao, they can be like rivals for such a long time because last time they played against each other in EWC.
Yeah. I think that there's a lot of history. There's going to be familiarity, but I think that going in, especially with the OG lineup, are kind of from all over. The Avengers, if you will, in terms of how they kind of formulated this team. A very different story, but they have a little bit of the stun. Dao Dao gets that smite onto the Tyrants, and now with the Raging Sea, they have a little bit of control onto Haku, who's trying to bounce it in. He's going to give up first blood. Dao Dao finding him out.
I do like the way how OG is designing this team fight because we can see Florentino is under such a great pressure because he was like a 1-2. So OG, instead of trying to rescue Eons, they just make some trade happen.
Oh, but Siri going all in. goes all in for Neil. He sacrifices his life. I don't know if that was the greatest trade, but at least he got something on the way out.
I feel like he's saying like, you are looking for a trade, I'm gonna go for the trade.
Yeah, I mean, diving into 4, probably not the smartest thing. For me, I'm looking to survive, though.
Yeah, true. But like, because of the sacrifice that Siri made, it's kind of like even up the pace of the game right now. But OG, because of the tier 1 tower that they already got, so I think like the pushing space, the pushing pace might be a little bit accelerated from now on.
And this is actually what happened in the top lane. The Moon's Game Mirage, that's the biggest problem, right? And then the fact that like there was a whole other fight elsewhere, but then like Ehans, he's like, I'm stuck in with you, can't go in, and then you come on out of this one and you have reinforcements there from the Nongshim side, and it's like, it's not even fair.
Yes, and before that skirmishes happened on the top, actually the detail from the minimap is that Florentino, I mean like Ehans already seen that illusion was there for him, so actually he took one step back and telling his team member that you can do the dragon trade. And that's a communication behind the movement that they did.
Yes, and now Nongshim capitalizing on that extra space. They have even more members, taking over the enemy jungle, zoned away, taking the top T2. Nongshim right now, this is the way you want to play, especially when you have a little bit of a lead.
Especially when you got higher in your composition. You can always initiate as you wish.
Of course, as well. And now Haku, onto the side they go, and here he finds it. But it looks like Haku, again, not fully committing, which is probably the smarter play in the end.
Exactly. He's trying to poke a lot of damage towards Nongshim's.
Yeah,
and also, like, you can see the positioning of Dao. They are trying to guarantee the priority of the mid lane because they are kind of afraid of Illusion's Haya right now because you can see, like, Haya is hiding his vision.
Yeah.
Like, on the side of OG, they don't know where Illusion is.
Yeah, they don't know. And that's a problem, right? He's like the boogeyman, right? He comes out of the corner, you don't know where he is, and all of a sudden you're in like purgatory into his mirage, if you will. So again, OG understanding that, hey, they need 663. He needs to be that forward scout so nobody gets jumped.
Exactly.
And now it looks like Nongshim back to the jungle they go. They still have the top T1. So in terms of like spacing, they're still fine. But OG, I like the way that they're responding. Understanding that they have a Gudo on this Dao. This is added further pressure. But they actually find Namu, who's playing with fire. He gets caught out. He gets burnt, if you will. The ghost ship is not enough to keep Illusion alive as well. OG finding some pickoffs.
OG is kind of trying to accelerate the game pace because they know that Dao is farmed up so well. So everyone is just pushing forward around this Dao.
Yeah, and no chance. I mean, I think it started with Namu getting a little bit out of position, thinking that he was safe with that heart link, but when you're bursted, you're a very squishy roamer, right?
Exactly, and you mentioned about the shortage of Nongshim because of the idea need someone to pick her up, right? And what the position that Namu was is that he's so far away from neither Arta or Haya.
Yeah. And I mean, that's why the idea is such a great hero, right? It adds all that mobility, plus you can kind of backpack on a teammate like you were talking about. So you have a lot in terms of what she can potentially bring. But now with this 4-2 kill score, it looks like OG have gotten a slight edge. I mean, in terms at least of momentum in this game.
Yes, but actually, if we scrutinize the goal difference, you can see like Retail is winning the upper hand towards Ehans. So while Retail used this goal lead to save his team in this mid-game.
Yeah, and it looks like the team fight. We'll find out shortly. The Aerostorm is not really able to connect onto any members of Nongshim here, but they're spacing it out because they know that the Tyrant is going to be started. It looks like Illusion has that Moonscape Mirage, at least for now, locking in. It looks like it's Ihounds. They come out right back onto this one, and it looks like Siri getting a little bit low, needs to be careful, but Namu's off to the side. The Tyrant is going to be started. Siri, though, I think with this HP bar, I don't think he can contest.
And also, that's the reason why we mentioned about the level up who will be the pick for OG, because they are waiting for the team fight after Illusion break out his ulti. They're not looking for skirmishes beforehand, but afterhand.
Yeah, that counter pick has been incredible for them, right? Being able to kind of mitigate, understanding that they're going to be right outside of this one, and even being contested here, Dao with that smite steal.
Exactly. They're trying to put their battlefield outside of Haya's ulti.
Yes. That would be very helpful for them, right? And I think Nongshim, like, you have a huge power pick. The Haya, I mean, at the end of the day, I think even in an ultimate battle, if we ever get there, Illusion will probably be looking for that Haya or the Mai. I think that he's kind of leaned more towards the Haya as of late.
Sure.
All right, and now OG here on this one. It looks like net worth. We're in a 50-50 game. This is the most competitive game we've seen thus far. Can OG find a way to, again,
get on top of Illusion, take down Siri in some fashion?
Well, I feel like they can do the split push first, but they need to make sure that they want the team fight won't initiate by Haya without this Agudo.
Okay. And now using that Agudo, as you're talking about, with that Wild Growth, taking the bottom T2, Nongshim have no answers, but they have the Moonscape Mirage. They at least caught a Predator, and if it comes right back out, are they able to blow him up? I don't think he survives. As they do, they're just going to sacrifice him, understanding that, hey, Hans, sorry, brother, you're done.
Sacrifice it is, but the problem is we are heading to 10 minutes mark. And without Florentino being survived, it's gonna be Nongshim's time to turn the table around, maybe.
Yeah, it's a huge power play. This is a golden opportunity, but Dao still has that smite, right? So Nongshim, if they want to fully contest this, they probably need to control Dao before they go in. The Tyrant is going to be leashed back in.
And we are talking about Alta's ulti. Well, he get nice control upon this Agudo. Will be the thing to do.
Yeah, the spacing has got to be unreal. Furball goes right back in. The Tyrant is in the mix of all of this. They have a little bit of control onto Rattel, but Siri gets the Tyrant. A nice three-man stun with that Raging Sea, and now they're looking to go for the turnaround, and it looks like OG, yeah, they had a nice stun, but they're not able to find a pickoff.
Yeah, I mean, like, nice control on the side of OG, but the problem is that they got numbers in deficit, and that, I would go the credit to Illusion because of his initiation before the team fight happened, make them outnumbered and let this team fight goes favor to themselves.
Yeah, it started with that, right?
Yes.
And I think that was, I mean, it was very bold, I would say, of OG when you were down a member trying to fight 4 versus 5 into the Tyrant pit. But they thought that, hey, we could just smite it out. But the way that they were able to navigate that, very smartly played by Nongshim as they looked to go for the initiation. The Ghost Ship locking in, just barely 663, squeezes out of that hole. And now it looks like Nongshim back to the Overlord. This is probably the next big thing. They have Primal Bond. They're not going to fully commit here.
And also the top side of the map, we mentioned about a goal difference between the top laners. So actually they... Oh!
Illusion, they actually made him pay. And now he actually expended his flash as well. He's not able to survive, but they want to continue this fight. Neil with that Golem tries to stay alive, but a Hem gets picked off. Neil will as well. And Nongshim off the backside, taking them all down. Dao is like, Autobots, roll out. Let's look for survival as he drops the Wild Grove. But Haku, it's like a personal vendetta, if you will. He will chase down Dao to the end. That's a team ace.
And I mean, the top lane, I feel like they're trying to close out the game, but the mean is not there for them.
All right, MVP tower. Okay, Rattel, a little bit of a miscalculation there, but I think in the end, Nongshim will still finish this game out as they do have the minion wave off of that ace, and they will take the game number 2 and the series here. Really well played by Nongshim.
And I feel like it's kind of like an ace game after that team fight happened. You can see like the resilience from the side of Nongshim. They are trying to make a lot of things happen, even though they stuck in the mid game.
Yeah.
And because of the Illusion, again, he's gonna be the wisest mind of Nongshim, I would say.
That's why it comes back to that drafting. Nongshim will always focus on Illusion because you're able to make plays like that. Incredibly smart by Coach YK, setting themselves up for success. A nice 2-0 there. But let's see what the analysts have to say. Isaac, back to you.
This was the closest match that we have had in the whole day. It was a stalemate all the way until the 12th minute, but then in one fight, one little mistake.
And you mentioned it last time, who do they keep on targeting? Who do they keep on getting the kill on? Sawo. But it just doesn't matter, and it's the same exact story as game number 1. 40 seconds until the turtle spawns, and Sawo is everywhere. That's just what you get off of Wilderness Blessing, and of course just the sheer mobility that a Matilda brings, which some way somehow kind of counters what a Marcel does in breaking your formation, and what Klokun wants to do with a Zushin to try and get you closer in. Team Spirit can reset over and over again, which explains a majority of, even in the neutral, even when fights aren't happening, why Spirit get to do what they want. Another small camp steal here from Zariguist. He is up by about a level, a full XP bar from Error 404. I'd say Vamos still have to be very cautious about taking this next objective. Spawn in the same spot.
Not only that, Sepa takes that long rotation down to boss side, and now he just makes his level 7, almost starts, but he's falling behind Kinbaba once again. Vamos, they're rotating around, but never really making a play out of it, honestly. But there's a nice Detona's welcome. Does land down, and Sawo falls. This time Vamos doesn't pay the price for it, at least not yet, but no, he goes there to make sure they get the counterattacks to keep falls. More damage comes out from Nako in the backside as S8UL continues to hold the front line. Team Spirit looking for the re-engage. Sunset Lover continues to drop the beacon down along with Clock Hunt.
Impressive reposition by Hiko, looking for potential targets. Air 404 holding onto the brush. Turtle on fourth.
Hiko into the backside with a nice 1-2, forcing Air 404 away as Team Spirit gets the second turtle. Team Spirit don't have to force this. They already got what they came for, but they do seem to want to present the attack. Vamos back under the towers, losing another turtle and falling behind more and more.
Deja vu. Might not have been as bombastic of a trade, a 3-for-1, but a kill onto Sawa for everything else that Team Spirit walked away with, plus a conversion into a tier 1 up top. This is Team Spirit finding their footing. This is them playing comfortably in the knockouts, while Vamos, again, by picking 2 out of the 5 same heroes, are ending up with the same issues. Once they've used the Detna's Welcome, once they've come in with Air 404's Kitten Burst. Oh, another one, Detna's Welcome on a Uranus.
I don't think they're going to have enough damage for that, but wait, everyone does pile on top. Consecration does pop. They're going to walk right into Zar here. Tower will get away, but still that's, oh, in the mid-side, Hiko finds Nako, and this is the constant response that Team Spirit brings. Every time Vamos drops a test, Team Spirit has the answers. Now they're going to move on to this purple buff as Vamos is kicked out of town, forced away out of their own jungle.
Oh man, even the purple buff is in jeopardy, and Zaur just yeets that out of Error 404's hands. They're propelling up to a 5,000 gold. He's a flicker in!
Lot of damage on a S8UL. Nice golden hour does come out from Vamos. All of them trapped under the tower, but it also stops them from taking tower shots. And that's going to help them succeed in taking that tier 3. Arrow 404 on the run. Team Spirit on the chase, non-stop throughout this game.
That's 2 full levels. That Zaur is ahead of Arrow 404. And Trex, correct me if I'm wrong, it took about 7 minutes for the first significant golden hour to be cast. It could have been perfect. It could have been perfect. Underneath a tier 1-2, but now Zkeef is running for his life, canceling that circling eagle. Natko might be one more casualty, but all while this was happening, the final turtle goes to Team Spirit.
It's looking rough for Vamos at this point. Team Spirit consistently has the answers. I got to point out Hiko as well. He hasn't always, I feel like ever since the Gold Fighter really became popular over the past year or so, Hiko hasn't really gotten to shine on one, and this is probably one of the best games I've seen on him on a fighter in the gold lane, the Paquito. He's been finding angles, he's been outputting damage, he's performing today.
And it's what you need with this kind of lineup. Again, the forward momentum, catching the Vanguard, flanking from the sides. Even Arrow 404 is scared of the Paquito. Hiko's getting punished here by Zkeef, but the advantage is just so powerful. It's huge. Kid Bomba chunked down to half. Purple here, still denied out of Arrow 404.
He hasn't seen a purple for about 2 minutes now. Maybe more. Vamos only getting 2 kills on the board so far, losing towers, haven't taken any objectives from the side of Team Spirit. They are smothering, and don't get me wrong, with a heavy frontline lineup that Team Spirit has brought, you kind of expect this power spike in the 6 to 9 minute mark. But Vamos has not been doing a good job at responding. They haven't been doing a good job of finding answers. They've actually been forcing fights sometimes when it's not even their time.
This is a clear sign that you shouldn't be. Because in that little moment, the sequence down bottom, when they pushed tier 2, Hiko was putting fist to face against 3 with very little punish. He was doing that with impunity. Sure, Sawa was in the vicinity, but what does VMS do here? Vamos, they're looking to again get stacks on Natko's ult, stop them all with the perfect golden hour, and then Arrow 404 to clean up. Like, that's the perfect picture here, with S8UL being the engagement. That is, for now, again, deja vu, the grocery list of things that Vamos has to do to maybe cut this lead in half. I'm not saying even get a lead of their own, I'm just saying to staunch the bleeding.
I mean, Vamos trying to do exactly that right now with the staunch the bleeding, with cutting lanes. Air 404 finding his way down the bot, finding his way to the mid. But I don't think this is a fight they want. I think at this point you just give up this Lord. Sawo unable to be caught by Marcel. Team Spirit having so much movement on the map that Vamos just isn't able to keep up in any way, not even in the macro, but also in the micro, in these small fights. Normally Zakif wants to run in on a Marcel, get stuns on everybody, but all they're ever landing on is Bomba. Oh, Team Spirit looks for this orange now as well.
Even the orange will be denied from Vamos. Now at an 8K gold lead. Putting myself in Malaysia's finest boots, all right? I'd say that little dance, or an attempt to dance, was more of just to stop Team Spirit from even pushing off lane. Because even the long lane is under the Dragon's control. Mid lane gets taken down. No more big turrets outside the base. Even an ideal flare will do nothing, because Team Spirit is literally 2 or 3 tax brackets above Vamos.
Oh, they tried to go for the pop before the Lord connects onto that inhibitor. They weren't quite able to get it, but still down to nothing but inhibitors. Team Spirit could try to really break this down. Another wave comes in, waiting for the top side. Team Spirit builds up as the bottom crashes as well. Arrow 404 taking orange buffs just to try to maybe recall and get back involved in this fight with a little bit of something. But look at the damage on Zakif. Nico takes him out as Kid Bomba jumps into the back line. Zauer there as well, able to get a big kill. Clockun bursts back, but Hiko under the base. Team Spirit close game 2 out just as fast as game 1.
They refuse to give anyone over. They're backing out for the mere fact that there's no more. More waves, so they can take their time here. Bottom lane does have that chubby wave, taking care of that tier 1. And I think Team Spirit will continue to play Hunger Games. This is where they continue to just deny everything away from their opponents. As they push mid lane inhibitor.
Oh, another pick by Kid Bomba. Nice golden hour. Vamos trying to output some damage. A nice Detnos welcome. Brings it back under. Sawo does go down. Arrow 4-4 able to get the kill. Bazaar still there, taking out Nako.
भाई बहुत बढ़िया टीम फाइट कर दो यहाँ पे भाई अगर बंदे गिर गए ना टीम स्पिरिट के तो शायद एक
Falls, Vamos trying to defend. It's 2v2. Able to pick it up, but Sunset Lover still stands until he finally drops. It's Clockun left over. Vamos defend the base.
A Pyrrhic victory for Vamos. They risked life and limb. Look at all these corpses lay about. And they were moments away from losing, but again, did they die? No, they didn't. They're still in it. Game 2. The base still stands.
And with the game being just past the 12-minute mark, about 30 seconds for the Lord, Vamos could bide some time to start to scale. Team Spirit, though, do you think that was an overstep? Do you think they should have tried to end it there? Do you think it, you know?
All right, Dave, if you're going to ask me, I'd say the smarter move would have just been to back off, wait for it. But this is a Team Spirit we know and love. If they can see an end, then they will try to find that end. Truth be told, if they stay there 2 more seconds, free hits on the base, it would have been over. So I don't blame him for finding and trying to end it right then and there, but still, who's to say that this isn't over just yet? They're up by about 5,500 gold. Looking a good test. Team Spirit secures the Lord. That's a golden hour started up.
The beacon comes in as well. Golden hour unable to help Vamos stop that Lord or positive. But Hiko gonna get both back in his Arrow 4-4. Gets the connection, but Hiko still doesn't go down. Nako finally takes him out. Team Spirit forced to back off. Lord goes down. Zauer looks for the re-engage along with Bomba. Vamos down about 70% health amongst all members. Asawa looks for an angle as well around the backside. Able to get the knock-up. The rest of the team split up. Vamos.
Let's go. He's trouble. Oh, gets fouled up by Zauer. And Kid Bomba between 3.
Will go down. Double kill for Zauer. Sunset Lover just hanging it out. Team Spirit now with an opportunity to fully end this. Now with an opportunity to finish what they started last time. And Zauer in the backside gets the triple. Looking for the Maniac. Can't quite get the final kill. But he doesn't have the ego right now. He just wants to end the game. But in comes air. A Maniac for Zauer. Zakif under the base. Zauer wants to go for it, but he just can't connect. The base goes down. And Team Spirit take game 2.
The Dragons of the North are at match point. Game after game, they have pushed for.
These people, it's not that they don't understand the game. These are faces that we have been seeing over the years in other games. I do believe that what is going to define if this is going to be a 2-0, if it's going to be an even match, is going to